The college football experience week 1 preview and picks for Saturday, Sunday, and Monday on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by our very own Patreon. Score exclusive perks, content, and contests, including our NFL win totals contest with a $1,000 prize on the line. Join today at sportsgamblingpodcast.com/Patreon. We're also brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Yes, Underdog Fantasy is offering you a chance to win $15 million in prizes with Best Ball Mania 4. Use the promo code SGPN at Underdog Fantasy for a 100% deposit bonus up to $100. We're also brought to you by DraftKings Sportsbook. Download the app now and use the promo code SGP. New customers can score $200 in bonus bets instantly when they bet just $5 on any college football bet. Only on DraftKings Sportsbook with the promo code SGP. We're also brought to you by our college football bankroll challenge. Yes, up to $3,000 is up for grabs. Get all the details at sportsgamblingpodcast.com/bankroll. That is sportsgamblingpodcast.com/bankroll.
Hey, folks, this is Bud Foster. You're listening to SGPN. Let's let it ride.
Yes. Welcome to the college football experience. Week 1 preview and picks for Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. In case you're wondering about Thursday and Friday, we got that episode already out there. Go listen to that one. And if you're wondering why that Dundee at noon kickoff show has not been happening on Tuesday and Wednesday, it's because I am not in studio. I'm home where I am currently fighting the Wuhan flu, perhaps. I don't know. Fighting something.
You have looked better before.
I feel like a bundle of shit right now. Like an absolute bundle of shit right now. I feel like the way Bobby Petrino probably felt at that press conference. All right?
Some people just can't handle week 0.
That's true. That is true.
Overwhelming.
Very overwhelming. Folks, if you're wondering who the hell you're listening to, my name is Kobe Swinging Database Dan, a.k.a. Pick Dundee. That's not a pick. This is a pick.
He was raised in the land down under, where a man thinks on his feet, speaks with his fists, and lives by his wits.
When Dundee happened, he was a superstar.
I'm probably drinking too much and celebrating too much and not sleeping. Would have killed a normal man, but no, that's gone. The medical advice I got from that was like being hit by lightning. Pretend it never happened and get on with your life.
Yes, pretend the Wuhan flu never happened and get along. You thought that thing was going to take me out? I'll be honest. What I did was this. I told myself I want to get sick right before the season. So during the season, I'm not sick. You know?
That's next level.
So I went out. I went out to the subway in Los Angeles and started licking the ground. All right? Said, give me whatever you got. Give me whatever the fuck you got.
Well played.
Yes.
Well played.
I am joined by my co-host. Nice little. He's got a little projector in the above his fireplace over there. Give it up for former JMU Duke defensive back, the burrito eating, sideline kiss stealing, wheeling and dealing, Patty C in the place to be.
Hi-oh! Up.
Let's go, buddy.
Yeah, buddy.
Caden,
week 1.
Caden is right. Sickness like indoor football. Yes, that is
right.
a very,
Filthy.
very sick thing. Look, I live in Venice Beach too, where like the most common, injury in a game of flag football is hepatitis C. So look, maybe that happened to me.
Immune system.
Yeah, my immune system is there's a lot of.
Did you step on a needle?
Certainly possible. I go walk my dog at that beach. So third man in the booth, the DFS guy himself. We invite you to come play DFS Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Oh, my God. Who else is doing that, huh? Well, I guess a shit ton of other people, but who cares? Give it up for the rooftop IPA drinking, homebrew making, tobacco road living, the free lot giving, former Herndon Basketball League MVP. Give it up for NC Nick in the place to be.
Week 1 is here. Hell yeah.
Let's go.
Go.
First down. So we do have news before we just start picking games. Shout out to the chat. Everyone's moving along, talking about games and stuff. A bad moon is rising in Salt Lake City because Cam Rising and the tight end Kuthi.
Yeah.
Kuthi?
Oh, man.
Yeah, he's a stud. Both not playing or doubtful to be playing against the Florida Gators. If folks don't remember, Utah's second-string quarterback a couple of weeks ago got out for the year, so it will be their third or fourth-string quarterback. I hear they might work 2 in the mix. We also have news that Cade McNamara for the Iowa Hawkeyes not playing against the Utah State Aggies. So Petrus, maybe Petrus. I'm curious who's going to get the start. But folks, before we dive into those games, what do you make of that news there, Patty C?
I mean, that's huge. As we mentioned before, obviously Kuthi, 3-time second team all Pac-12. So, obviously losing Kincaid to the draft was big in the second round, but Kuthi was supposed to be the guy that stepped up and replaced all that production. And don't hate on my dresser, GBO Farms. But yeah, and then you combine that with Cam Rising, and look, that offense is probably going to bog down quite a bit.
Yeah, we all knew this was a possibility, and now the line is back down to 4, and I bet you it comes down even more. So, like we were saying on our Monday pod, we knew this was a possibility. I'm still going to go Utah.
And GBO Farm saying the excuses will fly now, just like when Florida played Oregon State in the bowl game, and 30 players didn't play. Apparently,
your starting quarterback's kind of a big deal, but
especially when you have a Heisman contending starting quarterback.
I just don't like a Tennessee Vault guy rooting for the Gators.
Yeah, what the fuck is
what's this world coming to?
Fucking disgusting. That's why we hate the SEC. That's honestly why we hate the SEC.
With this whole realignment thing, though, I've noticed it with other conferences too. All of a sudden, like everybody's a fan of the whole conference, and they still root for their hated rivals.
Disgusting. All of it disgusting. I don't know.
Is that reason to love Notre Dame? I know that's been a hard thing for you to do for your whole life, but look, Notre Dame's kind of the all-American team, and maybe they're just ahead of the curve in terms of creating stability for themselves. Obviously,
wait. We're supposed to be rooting for Notre Dame, who's urging the ACC to grab Stanford and Cal when they're not even in the fucking conference. Fuck Notre Dame too. All right, add them to that list, little bit. Oh, you guys should do this. Be a part of the conference. But what about us? Oh, no. We're not going to be crazy. No,
only in football too.
Yeah,
exactly. Be independent everywhere, across the board.
Yeah, exactly.
You guys are just poor businessmen. They have established independence in the most financially impactful sport, and they are maintaining their own. They're floating their own boat. You guys don't like it because they're good enough to do it. And you guys are haters. Your love for the little guy, right?
Why don't you play Navy in Annapolis, and then talk to me, all right? You got 100-year-old rivalry. You never once played in fucking Annapolis. Fuck.
We all know the best independent teams UMass anyway, right?
That's right.
After last week, shit.
We should talk about that. Northeast football officially got to be back when UConn beats NC State tomorrow, right? Because UMass looking fantastic, guys. UConn more bowling a year ago. Let's go.
Northeast football all the way up.
3802 saying take Utah. Take Utah now. Let's go. 26-2 in the last 7 years. And one of those
number is moving fast.
Go ahead. No, one of those losses was during COVID too, so they didn't have fans. So it was like you could play that anywhere. It doesn't count.
Yeah. I don't know what it is about the state of Utah. I think that's across the board in all of their sports, but definitely the University of Utah, super home field advantage.
I'm sorry, just coughing up some Magic Johnson stuff. Anyway, folks, look, let's get to picking games. All right. Want to tell you that the college football experience is brought to you by the College Football Bankroll Challenge. Yes, college football is back. And to celebrate, SGPN is giving away a bunch of cash in our College Football Bankroll Challenge. It's free to enter. It's a season-long contest. $1,000 to first place, $500 to second place, but the prize doubles to $2,000 and $1,000 if you're a Patreon for the college football season. Go to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/bankroll or click the link in the app. We're also brought to you by DraftKings. College football fans, are you ready for week one? DraftKings Sportsbooks is hooking you up with a can't-miss offer to start the season strong. This week, new customers can bet just $5 on any college football bet and get $200 in bonus bets instantly. Anything can happen in college football. Your team could go unranked to dynasty mode in just a couple of years. Oh, shit, Boise State was a community college in like 1980, I feel like. Change comes fast. The only thing that's a lock is, the great offers from DraftKings Sportsbook. All right? Like Colorado plus 21 against TCU. What are you doing? Hop on over there. Bet that $5. Get the $200. Actually, bet more than $5. But if you only have $5, I recommend you bet that instead of spending it on whatever bullshit you got going on in your life. All
Food that you might need. Spend it anyway.
Well, you can hold out until Saturday afternoon. All right?
There you go.
All right, you'll be fine. Look,
ramen noodles, and then take Colorado, and you'll be eating good on Saturday night.
There you go. You're gonna be feeling like prime. All right, you're gonna walk into the restaurant and say, "I want to buy all the booths." Everyone else got to leave. Like when Prime came into the Colorado locker room, said, "All right, you guys, there's gonna be a lot of change going on. You get out of here." All right, look, life's more fun when you're in on the action. Let's be honest. All right, download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now. Use the promo code SGP. New customers can score $200 in bonus bets instantly when they bet just $5 on any college football bet. Only at DraftKings Sportsbook with the promo code SGP. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. See DraftKings.com/sportsbook for details and state-specific responsible gambling resources. Bonus bets expire 7 days after issuance. Eligibility and deposit restrictions apply. Terms at sportsbook.draftkings.com/sport/football terms. Whew. All right, we are back on the college football. It feels good to be talking about games. I do feel like ass, but
and a full slate of games.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So, oh, look at this 3802. What's this? What is this? Professional YouTube hub? Yeah, I don't know what's going on. All right, Noah Biedick behind the scenes doing the damn thing. Patty C's got a fancy coffee mug.
Oh yeah.
NC Nick's got a map of the United States. Unbelievable.
That's every brewery in the United States now. It's a little outdated. It's only about 5 years old or so, 10 years old maybe, something like that.
I enjoy that they don't even have Mexico even out. Look at that. It's just the ocean, huh? It's just the yonder.
It's just our country, damn it.
Yeah,
America.
Big 12 fans, cover your ears.
Until there's a college football team in Mexico. Then we'll talk about that. Then we'll add that.
I got you covered on that, buddy. I've watched Mexican college football. So
the Tijuana Tiger Sharks.
I'll send you a link. Folks, let's start things off with a bang here. Week one. Let me get some music going because I feel like, me being sick, the only remedy to fix this sickness, what did Christopher Walken say? I need more cowbell. Well, pick Dundee needs more football games, baby. Let's go. All right, week one is here. And we start things off with a bang. They call this thing Big Noon Kickoff. They got a bunch of squares and Urban Meyer. But how do you guys feel about that TV? Like, I appreciate the college game day. Like, I feel like that's a pretty good harmony of people. But the Big Noon one, I feel like it's force-fed. How do you guys feel about that one?
So who are the it's Big Noon is Reggie Bush,
Liner.
Like this
Brady
guy with blonde
Quinn.
hair, like this, the ultimate butt munch. I don't know his name, but
and then Urban Meyer, who's got his hands up every asshole in Cincinnati. Yeah, I would say
I prefer ESPN's game day personally.
Yeah. I
think
feel
they
like
lost something with Pollock.
Sure,
Yeah.
sure. Pollock's great, but I feel like ESPN's is just a lot better than Big Noon's.
Yeah, and I hate on pretty much everything ESPN. but they still do a good pregame show for college football and college basketball.
Just don't wheel out Lee Corso in that wheelchair. All right. Look, please. All right. Stephen Hawking died. All right. Stephen Hawking died a couple years ago. God rest his soul. But we do not need to see a 2.0 version of that.
Corso is now the new Stephen Hawking. Didn't think I'd hear that today.
I'm sorry. I'm sick. I'm on meds, so we might have to delete this episode. Anyway, guys, 9 a.m. kick. Colorado heading to Fort Worth, Texas. Take on the Texas Christian Horned Frogs. TCU Horned Frogs. The reigning runners-up in the national championship. Colorado's catching 20.5 or 21. Search around. The over-under sitting at 63.5. I mean, get this shit out of here. I see a plus 750 on the money line.
Look out, just watch him go down to Buffalo. Oh no,
Starting things off with a lock?
For sure. Like, there's no way this is not hitting. I actually think they're a live dog. They run the same offense. People say Colorado doesn't have the depth, and I agree. They don't have the depth throughout the season. For one game against a team that runs the same exact offense, I think Colorado's going to fuck with them. And I also think TCU lost so much production from a year ago.
Might take them a little while.
Then it might take them a little bit here.
And we have no idea if Chandler Morris is any good.
Very true. Just because you're an Oklahoma recruit doesn't mean you're a stud. All right.
This TCU Colorado game was pretty close week 1 last year.
Well,
closer than what people might realize. And 2 years ago, TCU was, I believe they were 5-17. So I don't think TCU takes a gigantic step back this year, but it's a bit of a reset. And there's so many questions, the question marks with Colorado, but I'm with you. I'm going to take the points. I'm not going to lock it up though.
Here's why I'm a little worried about this. Sean Lewis comes in and he's got a kind of a ground-based attack, and I don't feel that's the strength of Colorado's skill players. Obviously, good receivers, and Deion Sanders, assuming he's can replicate the production he had at Jackson State, then they're kind of a pass-oriented team. And
they got McCaskill, the freshman AAC Player of the Year at the running back spot. Also, Kavasi Smoke, and
they got a couple good backs,
and a guy they flipped from Notre Dame that's a freshman.
Okay, so maybe, because Kent State last year, 89th in passing, or 89th in passing, 22nd in rushing. So maybe if they do have backs, they'll keep it close. Either way, I expect some regression from TCU, and they didn't blow out a lot of teams last year, so I'll ride with you. I'll go Colorado here.
Yeah, another thing is I also think that was the Schlee's first year. Dustin Crum was the quarterback the year before.
And don't forget, Kent State played like Alabama, Georgia, Oklahoma, and USC out of conference.
Yeah.
So
even still, why would their running backs be, or their rushing games be so much more prolific than their passing game in that situation? You would think if they're playing from behind, the passing attack should be putting up the numbers. But I think it's a run-based attack. So, but I don't know. I'd have to do multiple years of study on that. But that's kind of my impression of Sean Lewis's offense.
3802 talking about Deion's comments about Florida State. I enjoyed them because I don't know how people. I'd be curious to see all of the former Florida State alums, because I know Lavernius Coles has a strong feeling of disliking to his former alma mater, Florida State, as well.
What's the issue?
Well, Lavernius Coles, he was part of like him and 3 other players, I think.
Some legal issue, right?
Shoplifting
they went through a sports authority or something, and they didn't get ringed up. They knew they were not going to get ringed up, but apparently, like, Bowden only backed, like, maybe it was Peter Work. I don't know, like something in there that the way he was treated as opposed to
exactly what you would expect to happen at Florida State. Yeah. Everything you would expect to happen.
Yeah, I forget the exact story, but I know Lavernius Coles definitely not a fan of Florida State. And when Monday Night Football would run through, he would never say Florida State. He would say, his high school or whatever. So Deion apparently on the same wavelength. I don't know. Flu episode. Yes, you are right. Shout out to Moneyline Mac. All right, now it's time, guys. I will start things up with 2 straight locks because
I think I know where we're going.
Yeah, I mean, the disrespect is unbelievable. Unfucking believable. East Carolina travels to Ann Arbor. I noticed Jim Harbaugh Yeah, you're a tough guy. You might have punched Jim Kelly in the face, but you're still a pussy because you self-imposed a ban because you didn't want to face the East Carolina Pirates.
That's what it was.
All right, you never faced ECU before, and you probably never will. Because guess what? When we come into your little stinking little city with your little burgers, you're selling everybody, right? You're buying everybody burgers, right? Let me tell you something. ECU is going to come in there, and they're not going to be the first North Carolina school to go up to your filthy little big house and get the dub, all right? They're going to be the second, all right? ECU plus 36. Don't insult me. Don't insult me. I mean, come on. We are good along the line of scrimmage, on the offensive line, on the defensive line. That's enough for us to stay in this game.
ECU lost a lot. Brand new.
Take the 36. Take the 36.
Brand new quarterback Mason Garcia, first ever start in the big house.
Highest recruit ever from ECU. Let's go.
We talked about it Monday. How about that parlay? How about the Colby Dant, favorite team parlay? Buffs money line, ECU money line.
I like it. Let's go. Let's have fun with this.
When you're at East Carolina, you go for it every time. Or you don't coach at East Carolina. You don't come to East Carolina. You don't play at East Carolina with a weak heart. Write it.
Oh, let me, and Patty C, I didn't mean to step on you there, but.
Oh, you're good.
Armani Edwards, no one had heard of him before he went into the big house. All right. So Mason Garcia, let's fucking go. Patty C, what were you going to say?
Make it happen. I mean, Michigan, number 5 rushing offense in the country last year. East Carolina, number 19 rushing defense in the country. Yeah, that's what Mike Houston does. I watched the guy pretty closely at JMU. He builds tough, he plays fundamental football, and that's what Michigan's built on. I think that this game's going to be closer than 36. I will lock it with you.
Oh, let's fucking go. We are locking up the Pirates in Ann Arbor. I'm starting to not feel sick anymore talking a little ECU football. 36. This is the most.
A lot of distractions at Michigan.
Why is Rutgers always getting when Rutgers plays Michigan, the line's like 24? You're telling me ECU is get the fuck out of here. 36.5 points? 36?
I'm with you guys. Michigan wins 41-17.
Locking
ECU
it?
Covers. Well, why not? Let's go.
There we go.
A little fun.
And look, this is the line. I'll go back to the well. I mean, the disrespect. Unfucking believable. All right, moving along. Flamin' Libs have a brand new head football coach. His name is Jamie Chadwell. Liberty laying what I'm currently seeing as 9.5 against Scotty Leffler and the Bowling Green Falcons. Man, I gotta go Liberty. Even though I think it's first game, new system, I feel like if this jumps back up to 10.5, you take Bowling Green. At 9.5, I'll take the Flamin' Libs. Nick?
I'm going to repeat something a few times on this show. New coach, new system, new quarterback. I'm looking to fade most of those teams at least. I'm actually going to grab the points. I don't feel good about this game, but I want to take the points.
Patty C, what are you doing with the Flamin' Libs and Scotty Leffler?
I think, Jamie Chadwell's system, while a little bit different than what Hugh Freeze was doing at Liberty last year, it's still got, similar elements and similar skill sets being highlighted. Usually a mobile quarterback, usually spreading the ball around a little bit. So I don't think it's going to be, a complete overhaul of the system that's necessary. And look, fade Scotty Leffler. He might have fooled me last year. I'm not buying it 2 years in a row. I think Liberty rolls here. Big.
Lock it up.
Whoa.
Give me the Flames.
Locking it?
I'm not getting lock happy. I like the ECU.
We got a lot of games here. True.
Yeah.
we don't need to lock everyone.
That's right.
All right.
You made a decent point. New quarterback, new coach. Maybe hold off on the lock on that one.
Next up, you got Curtis Rourke and D's All the Breaks taking on the fucking Long Island Shocks. Curtis Rourke's going to play, guys. I think he's going to play, according to the interwebs.
I saw Jacoby Jones is questionable, one of the receivers. I didn't see a line on this game yet. You got one?
41.5 is the line I'm seeing. The fucking Long Island Sharks are red hot at the end of the season last year. And Ron Cooper, that was his first year as head coach with the fucking Sharks. They got Stanzani at the quarterback spot, and they bring back a lot. So I'll take the points, but I don't feel great about it. What are you doing here, NC Nick?
I'm tempted to take the points too, because if Ohio's a little bit a little banged up, they're probably going to take an early lead. Last year, Toledo only beat them 37-0. So sure, yeah, give me the points.
Patty C. Trent Green's son was playing with Long Island last year, but he graduated and he was kind of a lawn chair.
Look, I don't care. The Sharks have such a long way to go. Ohio last week did a pretty good job against San Diego State. Curtis Rourke was 8 of 10. CJ Harris, terrible, 18 of 41.
They would have won if Rourke played the whole game.
Probably. And even still, CJ Harris has some live game reps now, so maybe he's a little settled in. Either way, I think Ohio rolls.
Laying the big spread against the fucking Sharks. Okay, folks, we got a bunch of more games, but before we get to that, want to tell you that the college football experience is brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Yes, folks, it's August 30th. All right, what the hell you doing? You got to get your fantasy drafts in. All right, I've already done mine. I got my college, got my pro. I'm ready to roll. All right, so get championship ready for your home league by trying out Best Ball on Underdog Fantasy. All you have to do if you've never done Best Ball is one snake draft. No waivers, no trades. You set it, forget about it, and Underdog does the rest. And look, Best Ball Mania tournament that Underdog's doing is the largest fantasy football contest of all time with $15 million in total prizes up for grabs, including an absurd $3 million going to the winner. Do you have what it takes to win it all, folks? The time is now. The last day of the draft is September 7th, so that door is shutting. Visit UnderdogFantasy.com. Find them in the App Store and sign up with the promo code SGPN to get your first deposit doubled up to $100. That's Underdog Fantasy, promo code SGPN. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. We're also brought to you by Sports Gambling Podcast Patreon. Make sure you check out the Sports Gambling Podcast Patreon. Be part of the family. It always feels good to, be a part of a family. Be a part of something special, So, sign up for the Patreon to get access to exclusive contests, including the NFL Win Totals contest with a $1,000 first place prize. So check it out. SportsGamblingPodcast.com/Patreon. That's SportsGamblingPodcast.com/Patreon. Oh man. I got
hit that mute button.
Where's that mute button? I don't know. I need that mute button.
It's bottom left on your StreamYard screen.
Oh, okay.
No, fans need to hear it. They need to hear the grind that Colby's going through.
He suffers. Yeah. He suffers for his fans.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, let's jump on over to Iowa City. No Cade McNamara, no problem. Heard Kirk Ferentz said his favorite win of all time, one of his favorites, was the 6-4 win against the Penn State.
I knew you'd appreciate that one.
Yes, he's and I did see that when he was scouting Utah State, he was like, I really like their punter. Utah State's got a good punter. Anyway, that line has dipped down. This was at 26.5 with the McNamara news. It's down to 23.5. I think it's too much. I don't know if it's Petrus. I don't know if it's the other kid they brought in. They brought in a transfer from Wisconsin. Either way, I'm going to take the Aggies of Utah State to cover it with the uncertainty. Do I feel great about it? No. But I will take the points. Patty C., what are you doing here in Iowa City?
Well, I would take Utah State at 23.5. I got it at 25.5 earlier in the week. So I'm all over Utah State. I think without McNamara, look, Utah State's a solid team. Iowa is not the type of team that can typically blow. Iowa's good against a group of five or even a FCS team to have a close game early in the season pretty much every year. This reeks of that. And I think we're 10, 12, 13-point game here probably.
Petra's apparently not on the roster. Deacon Hill, that's the Wisconsin transfer. What's the word on that? I read that McNamara was not playing. Has anyone else seen that?
I see Greg German saying he's expected to play. Questionable.
But it's tough to get this college football news these days.
Either way, I would be on Utah State, although that is a big factor. I think that changes the spread by about 7 to 10 points, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree. Like if he's starting, I think I might lean to fading the points. Taking taking Iowa and laying that big number.
You never feel good laying a big number with Iowa, though. So I want to roll with my fourth dog in a row here and say this is just a couple too many points.
Yeah. Okay.
Do you think the Brian Ferentz, needing to score 25 is an angle? Because if they score 25 points here, they might, 25-2. They might. I guess that still wouldn't cover. So
it is going to be hilarious. But yeah, I think they should get rid of that. You win the fucking games, you win the games. What's going on? Next up, we got Ball State heading to Lexington, Kentucky, catching 26.5 points. Whew. That's a lot of points for
too many points,
dude. And Kentucky always struggles. I feel like they win, but they win by 12.
For example, last year they beat Northern Illinois 31-23.
Yeah, we always put it on the main TV in the third quarter when we see Northern Illinois is down 2, and you're like, hey, maybe they got a chance. You got to take Ball State here plus the points, right?
I'm kind of high on Ball State in the MAC. And, I think it's way too many points. I'll make it 5 dogs in a row. I swear I'm going to pick some favorites. They're coming. But right now, I like a lot of dogs.
I mean, Lane Hatcher transfers in, former Alabama recruit. And, he's transferred everywhere. But he's like a 5th-year senior, 6-year senior. They got Marquez Cooper coming in from Kent State. Kind of like the wideouts. I think they might be able to put up enough points. So
they're not going to miss Lexington Steele too much because – that guy they got coming in from Kent State's a baller.
Yeah. And shout out to Kentucky. Use the promo code SGP when you sign up for DraftKings. Patty C, what are you doing here? Ball State's been your squad over the years. What are you doing here?
And they continue to be my squad, at least for this game. Look, I got a question for both of you, and I expect wildly different answers. Nick being an NC State guy, Devin Leary coming in. I wonder if he's an improvement over Will Levis. Actually, I don't know whether Colby is really that impressed with Will Levis. Either way, are they upgraded at quarterback? Could this offense of Kentucky's, move a little quicker down the field, put some more points on the board?
Well, I'll take it first, I guess. And I would say Leary's a solid quarterback. I would say he is a good college quarterback. I think Levis is a little bit better. So I would say it's a slight downgrade.
Yeah, Levis is a little more athletic. But to me, Leary, look, I think Leary's solid, but he's also, I don't understand. He's been so highly overrated over the past couple of years that I'm like, people saying, oh, he's unbelievable. And I'm like, what? I'm watching the same games you're watching here. I don't understand.
I don't know. 35 touchdowns, 5 interceptions 2 years ago. Last year, 11-4.
Every big game, though. I don't care if he's doing that against Wofford. All right.
Well, he's got Ball State this week. That's not exactly a big game.
That's fair.
Tell that to your boys in Muncie.
Yeah, I thought that was your squad, buddy.
I'm on Ball State, so I'm with you guys.
All right. Next up, we got Arkansas State. Butch Jones. Some say it's the Butch Jones farewell tour as he heads to Norman. Oklahoma's laying 36 points. I'm actually going to lay it, even though I don't feel good about this one. Because Arkansas State, I think, is ass. Give me a final score of 59 to 17 or something. NC Nick, what are you doing here at Gaylord Stadium there in
I'm with you. Lay the points. I think Oklahoma, they have something to prove after, let's face it, a bad season for them last year. I think they're going to come in and that offense is going to crank. Arkansas State, they've had a couple recent blowouts to big name schools. Last year, 45-12 against Ohio State. I guess they would have covered barely. 52-3 against Washington in 2021. I think Oklahoma steamrolls them here. It's about time I pick a favorite. So give me the Sooners.
Patty C?
Oklahoma's offense did not really shine. I mean, I guess they put up 48 against Texas Tech in the bowl game. But other than that, I guess they had a couple good games, 52 points against Kansas last year. But they hadn't been explosive. Still, Jeff Lebby, Dylan Gabriel, I expect to step forward this year. I'm not sure I want to take them. I don't have a good feeling, but I will roll Oklahoma with you. Not a lot of disagreement here.
Yeah, people are asking about General Booty. Will he be on the field for the Sooners to get a nice NIL deal?
Oh, is he? What's the deal there? Is he taking over the reins or?
No, it's just his own team. Yeah.
No.
All right. Next up, the Virginia Cavaliers. This is one of these filthy neutral site games the SEC does. Are heading to Nashville. Hey, how about you just play this in Knoxville, where college football is just a lot better?
True.
Or
but then they'd have to play in Charlottesville, where nothing's better.
Fair.
Tiki torches are better in Charlottesville.
Tennessee is laying 27.5 points. I'm currently seeing. I'm going to stay with this mode here. I will lay the 27.5 points against the Wahoos. I think. Look, I said this before. The only thing that might change is Northwestern, but I think Virginia's the worst Power 5, and maybe Northwestern might be worse, but I think they lose. I'm going to call this one 52-14. Tennessee gets that dub.
I don't know if UVA is scoring 14 on them. I'm going to lay the points. I'm going to lock this up. I think Tennessee does roll big time, like 42-6 or something.
NC Nick locking up Tennessee Volunteers. GBO Farms wants to send him a Venmo, right?
Patty C, lock battle. Come on.
I'm not locking UVA, but look, they didn't give up more than 38 points in the entire year last year. I think you guys are, locked in on A, hating Tony Elliott, and B, thinking that the sky has fallen in Charlottesville. Look, I do expect Tennessee to get off and start moving the ball, especially in the second half. It's going to get close to 28. I don't have a great feel on this one either. It could easily happen, but I'm taking my Wahoos to get this cover.
Wow, Patty C going with his Wahoos. Of course.
Grain of salt.
NC Nick locking up the Tennessee Volunteers minus 27.5. You might even be able to find a 27 out there, Nick.
I bet it at 27.5.
There we go. Louisiana Tech, somehow, some way, the Bachmeier era started off with a dub, even though they were losing for 58 minutes of that game. They head to SMU, where this line has skyrocketed. They're catching 20.5 currently.
I don't know what Vegas saw last week in Louisiana Tech's 22-17 win against FIU. Maybe they don't respect FIU that much, but that seems like a big line.
Where do you have the line at?
20.5.
20.5. Okay. Yeah. I think it's a little too many points. I'm kind of high on SMU this year too, but is it beneficial for La Tech to have the week 0 game? I think ATS records last couple of years proves otherwise almost, where we think, common sense would say it's good for that team to come in with a little experience under their belt, but I don't have the stats in front of me, but I don't think those ATS records have been that good week 1. But I'm taking the points, man.
I think you got to take the points. SMU's defense has been questionable. They were in the hundreds last year. Until I see otherwise, I don't even know if Rhett Lash is a great coach. So I'll take the points. I'm not locking it, but I feel decent about this one. Patty C, what are you doing here at General Ford Stadium?
You know what? This reminds me, Preston Stone, big recruit, Chandler Morris, another guy in that Dallas area, big time recruit. Oh, you expect him to throw the ball all over the field? We don't know if that's going to happen. I guess Preston Stone has proven it a little bit before, but look, I just don't think I think for Louisiana Tech proved last week, it's too big of a number for me to ride SMU.
Too big of a number. There we go. All right, next up, let's go to NC Nick on this one, because the ACC Boston College Golden Eagles kicking off the season with a bang when Northern Illinois comes to town. The last 2 times these teams have played, which has been in the past decade, BC has escaped by a field goal in each of those games. So when I see this line sitting at 8.5, BC laid 8.5, I say, what are they doing here? When you got Rocky Lombardi, you got a fucking Lombardi. He's like 30 years old. I will take the points in Northern Illinois, but I'm curious, how do you think your Boston College Eagles will do in the ACC for game 1 there?
Well, so I had the same initial reaction as you. At first, I was like, "Oh, give me the points." We've seen BC do this, in the non-con before, where they either barely beat a G5 opponent or lose to a G5 opponent. But then when I was thinking about this, I'm kind of turning the corner on BC. I'm buying in a little bit. I like what I saw from Emmett Moorhead at quarterback. They got all 5 offensive linemen returning. I'm actually going to lay the points. I think Boston College wins by 2 touchdowns.
Woo! This guy diving into his ACC stuff. Patty C, what are you doing here?
I've been waffling back and forth on this, but I think I am going to roll NIU. I think Tommy Hammock, like we say, one good year, one bad year. Last year was a tough one. They're going to bounce back this year. And 8.5, just a tad too much. Boston College doesn't generally put it on teams. very often. So I think NIU will get the cover.
There we go. Shout out to Magic Man
Lombardi,
Blanco.
baby.
Yes, Magic Man Blanco in the chat saying, "Damn boys, it's been a minute for a live show, but always listen and appreciate the best in the business. Let's get at it." There we go. Longtime fan there. Shout out to Magic Man Blanco. Hell of a good guy. Next up, we go to West Lafayette, where, can I just go ahead and say this? Wrong team favored. Purdue is laying 3.5 or 4 against Jeff Tedford and Fresno State as the Ryan Walters era kicks in West Lafayette. I'm sure they'll have all those Boilermaker fans all loaded, but I think Fresno State is the better football team. I will take Fresno State, and I'm not just going to take the points here, even though you might just want to do that to cover your ass. But plus, what is it, 155? Yeah, Noah's got it at 4, by the way. I'm sorry. I was reading off this. But yeah, at 4, there's 3.5, 4. Get out there. What are you doing here, Nick?
I completely agree. Purdue, new coach, new quarterback, new system. Trust in Tedford. Go Fresno on the road. I'm going to lock this one up too, guys.
Woo!
Give me those 4 points.
NC Nick locking up the Bulldogs. Let's go. DD in the chat saying Fresno by 16. Gonna put it on him. Patty C, what are you doing here?
I'm all over the Bulldogs, but one thing I think I hadn't realized that I've come to understand recently is how good Purdue is in the trenches. That's a little bit of a concern, but look, like we said, Fresno with the experience, Mikey Keene coming in, I think he'll come in seamlessly. The road environment, probably not too bad. I think Fresno does get it done, and probably a good money line play there. I think maybe the better value play. What's that?
I feel like that place gets lit.
Yeah, maybe a little bit.
Decent.
The better value play, I think, is the over. 47.5. I think both these teams can move the ball a little bit. I mean, obviously,
I like that call.
Jack
I like you over there.
Yeah.
Fair. I like that as well. All right, moving along, the Western Carolina Catamounts.
Where's Weehawk?
Shout out to Weehawk. Kerwin Bell. Do you guys remember that clip of that guy who scores a touchdown in the CFL and he spikes the ball and the ball goes off the AstroTurf right into his nuts? That was Kerwin Bell. That was Kerwin
And then the
Bell.
guy punches him in the face right after that. One of the best clips ever.
Absolutely fantastic. Go search that on YouTube if you have not. They are heading to Lafayette, or what am I talking about here? Fayetteville, Arkansas, where Arkansas is laying 35.5 points. Sam Pulled Pork Pittman breaking in new coordinators, Dan Enos and Travis Williams. What are you guys doing here, Nick?
That's too many points, man. Especially with an Arkansas squad who lost a lot. I know they still got Rocket Sanders. I know they still got KJ Jefferson. That offense is still, dynamite, but all new receiving core. I'm going to take the points.
I'm with you. I think, I'm high on Western Carolina this year. I think it's going to be interesting to see Travis Williams' defense. Last year, the Arkansas defense, especially the pass defense, was terrible. And that's a skill of Western Carolina as they go out and get Charlie Dean from Harvard. So I think they'll be able to throw the ball a little bit. I'll take the Catamounts and the 35.5. Patty C?
That's a lot of points still. KJ Jefferson coming back. I think they're just a supremely talented team, Arkansas. You said 35.5?
Yeah.
The hook's a little scary, but I'll still roll Razorbacks.
And Weehawk says that game's in Little Rock. Correct. That is right. It is in Little Rock, not
They do that a lot. I don't know why they have
Their
a random
really obligated, I think.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
They're trying to get support from the whole state, man.
Yeah. That's why they have a state law that says they can't play Arkansas State. Those filthy fucking whores. All right. Moving to Colorado Springs. Patty C. Your boy, Troy Calhoun, who might have duped me, huh? They're playing Robert Morris, Air Force, taking on good old Robert Morris. Bernard Clark, the head coach of Robert Morris. NC Nick might remember him from his Miami Hurricane days. This is a line. Where the hell is this line? Air Force laying 45.5. Robert Morris was winless a year ago. I'll take the point. I'll take the points.
I'm laying them. I'm laying them, baby. What do we know about John Lee Eldridge? Is he going to be at fullback or is he staying at the slot or the wing?
I would be surprised if he's at fullback.
They played with it, but I do think they moved him back to wing. He's got enough explosiveness that if he was at the fullback and getting all those carries, that he might be able to, really explode and make that offense go. But it's probably a little more conservative. So maybe you're right. Maybe I'll take the points.
Hey, Robert Morris played a couple FBS games last year. Lost at Miami of Ohio 31-14. Lost at App State 42-3. Give me the points, I suppose.
There we go. Let's go. In Oxford, Mississippi, the Mercer Bears. We got a week 0 game in. Man, that offense did not
40-point spreads here.
31.5 only.
Is that it?
31.5. I'll lay the points.
Play it.
Patty?
Hold on. I didn't even. Is Mercer and who?
At Ole Miss.
At Ole Miss. 31.5.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll lay that. Come on.
It's almost lock-worthy, right?
Yeah, Mercer did not look that good last week.
It did not. I feel like, should we lock this?
Probably. I feel like Lane Kiffin's the type of dude that would.
Let's go.
Keep his foot on the gas. You don't slow up in a track meet, and I believe that Lane Kiffin buys into that ideology.
Let's lock it. Let's go.
Triple lock.
I'm not touching it.
Oh, after all that.
Double lock.
All that. Double lock. All right, moving along. We now jump over to Philadelphia. I'm excited to watch this game. And I might be the only person in America excited to watch this game. The Akron Zips are heading into Philadelphia to that filthy, filthy stadium, that NFL stadium, to take on Temple Owls. Temple.
What excites you about this game?
Well, I can. You ready for this?
Yeah. Lay it out.
I'm on the over on Akron. I locked this up. I'm excited to watch Joe Moorhead year 2. And then Temple's got one of the most exciting offenses, I think, in America with EJ Warner. Both those wideouts. Stan Drayton did, I thought, a great job on the offensive side of the ball. Can he fix the defensive side of the ball with Everett Withers coming in? We'll see. But I'll take the 10.5 or 10 on the Akron Zips. I wouldn't be surprised if the Akron won it outright. NC Nick, what are you doing here?
I do really like the Temple offense. I think it's going to be dangerous this year. But at the end of the day, it was just a 3-win team from a year ago. And I think laying anything more than a touchdown sounds like too much to me. So I'm on the same side as you, taking the points again.
This is almost lock-worthy to me.
I'm not touching this game.
This is close to lock-worthy. What are you doing, Patty?
After all the hype I heard you guys give Temple throughout the whole offseason, and look, I just think what is it? EJ
Warner.
EJ Warner. Look,
Kurt's son.
Kurt's son. I feel like I should be taking Temple on that, but now you guys have convinced me. I guess I got to go Akron here.
Not locking it, huh? I'm the only one close to locking that. This could be a lock by Saturday morning.
How many fans will be in the stadium? What's the over/under on fans in the stadium? That's the better question.
That's why they should play at the MLS stadium. They could probably pack that thing. Instead, they say, let's go have a terrible environment. But look, this might be a lock by Saturday morning. You let me have a few more NyQuils, mix it with some of those rum punches I've been drinking. This might be a lock come Saturday morning.
Not sure you're supposed to be mixing
those. That's why you get the SGPN app. Yeah, that's a myth. All right, that's a myth. I got plenty of evidence on that.
Colby's sipping on scissor over there.
I'm saying.
Got that purple drink.
That's what I'm saying. Prince for years would drink that. And, the artist Prince, what got him was he was
formerly known.
Yeah. We're good. We're good there, guys.
Be proper here.
All right. This is one I'm super excited for. Northern Iowa is coming into Ames, Iowa. Woo, man. What if I told you the last time these teams played? I think the last 2 times they've played. So Iowa State won 16-10 in 2021, and the game before that went to triple overtime. So, watch out when you're playing these Panthers. This is a game that where's this line here? I saw it earlier, but I'm scattered everywhere. Either way, Northern Iowa is projected to be one of the better teams. So Iowa State is laying 14.5 points. We should lock this. We should really bet this.
No, Jaleel Brock transferred, right?
No, he didn't transfer. He's just not playing college football.
Okay. And then do we know what's the rest of the suspension news on the Iowa State side?
They're starting defensive tackle.
Deckers is not playing.
Yes. They've lost a ton. All right. Like, I don't have it in front of me, but they've lost a ton of players. And meanwhile, Mark Farley, 23rd season at UNI, Theo Day back at the quarterback spot, one of the best quarterbacks in all the FCS.
I've done this enough times.
My only problem with UNI is that the last 3 years, they're about a 500 team.
But that's because that conference is insane.
Seems like they plateaued in like the late, 18, 19, 17, somewhere around there. And they've just been pretty average so far. But I'm with you, though. Give me the points.
I'm locking this. Lock it up.
Let me say this.
What's that?
Let's dive a little deeper here. Northern Iowa's ability to keep it close against the likes of Iowa in particular over and over is understandable because Iowa plays conservative football. But Iowa State with Matt Campbell, Matt Campbell's the type of coach that would have his backups ready to play, and they're a more explosive system than Iowa would be. So maybe they're not super explosive.
I'm quoting the past 2 times they've played Iowa State.
What were those scores again?
16-10.
16, and then triple overtime game the time before.
29-26.
And when were those both while Campbell was coaching?
19 and 21.
All right.
Yeah.
Let's go Northern
Go with
Iowa.
the points, guys.
Yeah.
I'm locking this. You guys aren't coming?
I don't host the FCS gambling podcast, so I don't think so.
I smell a coward.
Matt Campbell's a really good coach, man.
It's a fucking lock.
Lock.
It's a lock.
All right, I'll lock it. Let's
All
go.
right, you talked me into it. Triple lock.
This is a classic little brother angle, man. They circle. This is their whole season. Let's go.
Was anybody on Northern Iowa gambling? Apparently, the whole state is.
That's a good point. That is a very good
Field
point.
and gambling mix very well.
All right, next up we go to Jacksonville, Alabama. Can Rich Rod go 2-0 as he takes on East Tennessee State? Jacksonville State is currently laying 9.5 points. Nick?
Yeah, you kind of wonder if there's a letdown here. I mean, I think East Tennessee, the boys from Johnson City, always feel a pretty good team, but last year they weren't that great. Just 3-9. So you know what? Give me Jacksonville State. Lay the points.
Patty?
You know, the flip side of that is
I'm sorry. I'm dying over here, dude. Go.
I don't know. Man.
Oh, was it his internet or is it my
I hear you fine, Colby, so it must be Patty C's internet. His sex dungeon must be buffering.
Yeah. Probably downloading Position Impossible at the same time. Yeah, I don't know what the fuck he was going to say. I'll actually.
It probably wasn't that good. So,
9.5. I think you're right, though. I think I take Jacksonville State.
All right.
It is a letdown spot in a way. You won your first FBS game. Could the Buccaneers come out there and take advantage of that potentially? So that is in the cards. But I think I will lay the 9.5. So. Yeah, Moneyline Mac brings up a good point that Iowa State's got Iowa on deck as well. Patty C, we didn't understand your screen froze because you were downloading Position Impossible. We think.
I'm back. Internet just figured it out. I thought for a second, and we're dead again. Look, I think on the flip side of what Nick was saying, you get over game one jitters and you're back to the team you regularly are. Meanwhile, East Tennessee's I'm gonna go Jacksonville State.
Oh man,
here we go. This stupid internet can't keep up. Look, I'm on Jacksonville State. That's the answer.
There you go. Patty C's gonna be on Jacksonville State every week. I think we can move on.
Yeah. Next up, we go to Eugene, Oregon, where we got a little in-state battle. Portland State catching 47 points.
Woo!
At Oregon. This is an easy play. I think you take Oregon. I think Oregon will probably score. Give me like a 62-7 final. Nick?
Yeah, Portland State lost 52-6 at Washington last year. They kept it within 20 at Washington State the year before, but yeah, I think Patrick Nix and that offense gets going early. Give me the Ducks.
Magic Man Blanco said, quack, 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 take the Ducks. Patty C, what are you doing here in Eugene? Okay, next up. South Florida's taking on Western Kentucky.
Finally, two FBS teams that doesn't have a 40-point spread.
Yes, the go tops, right? The Hilltoppers are laying 11.5 points against Alex Galesh. Patty C was hammered the other night on our show, and he said that South Florida's going to have, 5 double-digit win seasons or something in the next 10 years? I don't know. Like that.
Why is he such a big Alex Galesh fan? Can you explain that to me?
I just I don't know. Maybe the Josh Heupel offense. I don't know. Maybe the fact he's from Russia. Patty C's always he rooted for Ivan Drago in Rocky IV. Perhaps that. I'm not sure, but no collusion. And 11.5 points. I am intrigued because I kind of thought, I think I'm going to take the points. I think South Florida will be able to. Whoa. I think South Florida will be able to stay in this game enough. I'll take the 11.5. Western Kentucky wins. Nick, what are you doing here?
It's an interesting game. I mean, South Florida, I think they've had a decent level of talent on that team the last couple of years. I just think, the coach was dog shit. But I can't go against my Hilltoppers. I'm very high on them this year. I think that offense, there's no stopping it. So, and they're at home as well. Give me Western Kentucky. Lay the points.
Patty C, are you with us? I don't think that's the right answer. Patty C, paging Patty C. Okay. Yes, GBO Farms. He's Russian. With a name like Patty, huh?
That's fake.
Yeah.
His real name is Nikolai.
Yeah. Nikolai C. Tennessee State is
Boris.
Notre Dame is taking on their first ever FCS. And this spread is sitting at 48.5.
You have to pick these.
Eddie George. Yes, buddy. He's got Draylon Ellis back at the quarterback spot. They cover this. They're going to cover this.
I feel like Notre Dame's going to call off the dogs early here. I guess I'm with you.
Yeah. Give me like a 49-7 final score. Take Tennessee State to get it done. Next up, we got UMass Auburn. This line was at 39.5 before UMass came down to Las Cruces and put the kibosh on Jerry Kill. Now it's at 35. NC Nick, what are you doing here?
I think I'm with you because I know the side you're going, and UMass showed me enough where I think they can keep it close against another brand new head coach with a brand new system with a brand new quarterback.
Yes. Yeah, I'm with you. Look, I would like more than 35, so might want to wait right before the kick. If you're going to bet this, I would wait right before the kick and see if you can get 35.5, something like that. But give me the Minutemen plus the points.
Perhaps last week was an aberration and the score's like 59-0. It's possible.
Is your internet's working, Patty C?
I dialed up the personal hotspot on the phone because I got some idiotic internet. So we'll see if this holds up. But
there's a hotspot in the sex dungeon. That's right.
Hello. That's right. Always a hotspot. Several hotspots.
Oh, man. I don't know, Patty C. I think we got to move.
So moving along, Buffalo is taking on Wisconsin. This game I'm intrigued by because the Badgers are laying 28 points. NC Nick, 28 points. This line keeps going up, and I don't understand it. Buffalo was a bowl team a year ago. I like the Bulls. First time you're running the air raid, all that shit, jump around. Okay. I'll take the Buffalo Bulls plus the 28. They hang in this game enough. Give me like a 49-24 type of final. What are you doing here?
I think if there's a good chance they cover, I think they need to limit Wisconsin to like in the 30s or something, because I don't think Buffalo is going to put up 24. But I do think there's a decent chance they'll cover just because Wisconsin has a brand new system. I think we mentioned it. The Badgers are must-watch football because they're just completely changing their approach to the game of football. So this one will be interesting to watch, see if Buffalo can hang in there with them. I think they can do just enough to cover.
Yeah. I think they get – that's why I was surprised. It was at like 24, 25, jumps up to 28.
Some people are really high on Wisconsin.
Yeah.
I think Phil Steele's one of them.
No, it's still – I mean, come on, 28 is 28, all right?
I agree.
DB Cooper's cracking me up in the chat. Next up, Ohio State heading to Bloomington, Indiana, where Indiana is catching 30 and a half. Search around.
Tell me why we shouldn't lock up the Buckeyes. What? Because Stroud is gone and McCord is getting the. I mean, it doesn't matter. They're going to plug and play.
I took Indiana, but I didn't.
You took Indiana? Last 2 years, 56-14, 56-7. I'm taking the Buckeyes for sure, and I might lock it up.
Yeah. I think you just swayed me to change my pick, buddy. All right. So there is that.
It's easy to see a tide turn.
Okay. You convinced me. Give me
All right,
Ohio State minus the 30 and a half. I'm not locking it though. You locking it?
No, not right now. I might.
All right. Moving along. Next we go to Seattle, Washington, where
Boise
State is catching 14 and a half points in Seattle. There'll be people sailgating. Will they be people crying and sailgating? That might be a thing because Boise State.
Is this the best game of the day?
I think there's a game in New Orleans that is very underrated, but this is right up there.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
But you know what? I'm taking the points too. Come on, it's Boise.
Yeah.
Boise has such a track record of going into hostile environments and winning or keeping it close. You give me more than a touchdown, I'm going Boise, regardless of how explosive that Washington offense is.
Yeah, I'm with you. 14 and a half, I think Boise's defense is solid. Andy Avalos, that's his specialty, played defense, played linebacker at Boise State. And Taylon Green can do enough with his legs to pose some problems for the Washington defense. I'll take the points as well. I'm always scared, though, because you got Washington's offense can score fast.
For sure.
So, this is one where, you could be looking good at halftime, and all of a sudden Washington scores 3 or 4 touchdowns in a row.
Yeah, this Boise offense is more run-dependent. Taylon Green, not the most prolific passer, early in his career. So you're right. If things, go bad quickly, they could unravel. But, give me Boise, man.
Yeah, I'm still taking Boise as well.
Look at Jamie HOV in the chat. There we go. Hell yeah.
Shout out to him. Yes, lock in Boise, says Moneyline Mac. Do we got Patty C back? Does he have Patty? Hey!
We'll see how long this lasts. I mean, we might get 10 seconds. We might get 15 seconds. Come on, internet. Let's go.
That's pretty long for you, Patty C.
Hello. Hello.
Patty C.
Maybe back in college. I'm up to 30 now.
Patty C. Boise State getting 14 and a half at Washington. What are you doing?
I'm all over Boise State. Come on.
There
You're going to give me that hook too? Get out of here.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Easy money.
Ohio State laying 30 and a half at Indiana.
30 and a half at Indiana. New quarterback, McCord. Do you think he's I feel like it's plug and play at the quarterback position with Ohio State. 30 and a half. I think Ohio. I don't know. That's close, but I do think Ohio State gets it. Then again, sometimes they're known to lay some first half clunkers.
I think Nick swayed me to take Ohio State there, but I think he brings up some good points.
I got no faith in the Hoosiers this year. I think they're going to be bad.
Yeah, fair, very fair. All right, folks, I'm going to conclude side A here. Stick around if you're watching on YouTube. Just be patient here. All right, we are back on the College Football Experience Week 1 preview and picks. Go listen to side A if you just catch it up. We went through all the early games. We're going chronologically based on the time slots. So we are still here at the noon 30 Pacific time slots. And NC Nick's very excited for this one, the Loxley Bowl, because Mike Loxley's a graduate from the Towson Tigers as Towson heads into College Park, Maryland, where they're catching 40. They're breaking in a brand new head coach, Rob Ambrose. Now he was on the Colorado National. I'm sorry, Pete Shinnick. He was on the Colorado National Championship team, so I should probably take Towson, but I can't. I will lay the 40 with Maryland. Patty, NC Nick.
Yeah, I mean Maryland's firing. I don't know though.
What are you doing, buddy?
We heard you there. Try
Patty,
one more time, man.
Patty, you're back. You're back. We got you.
Okay. I'm going to go opposite, actually. I think Towson's the type of team that normally keeps this a little bit closer. And Maryland, even though they're, getting better and getting more explosive players through the recruiting cycles and transfer portal, I do think Towson keeps it closer than 40.5. That's crazy.
Well, let me tell you, they went to Morgantown last year, lost 65-7. That was enough for me to ride with the Terps.
Yeah.
Maybe not that crazy.
There you go. All right, moving along, we now jump to – I am actually intrigued to watch this one. Appalachian State is hosting Gardner Webb with Trey Lamb. They won the Big South a year ago. They won a playoff game. The spread is only 26. 26 points. Gardner Webb almost beat Coastal Carolina last year, almost beat Liberty. Played Marshall close for 3 quarters. I'll take App. I don't know, man. Yeah, give me App minus 26. Just the fact it's the home opener. I will take Appalachian State, but this game could be sneaky. Nick, what are you doing here?
I might have to change my pick after Jamie brings up that Stacy Keebler went to Towson. Dude, I used to have a thing for Stacy Keebler. I like to think it was mutual, but yeah, it probably wasn't. No.
Is that the
she was like a WWE.
Oh,
she was with what movie star was she with? Jeez, I'm
gonna guess Charlie Sheen.
No, it wasn't Sheen. It was somebody else. It doesn't matter. Going back to this game, I agree, man. I think App State, they got a redshirt freshman. Berger was just named the starter. I think there's a little bit of some growing pains. I think Gardner Webb keeps it closer than expected.
Oh, I laid it at the end of the day. So you're.
Oh, did you? I'm sorry. Someone mentioned Stacy Keebler, and I forgot we were talking football.
Yeah. Patty C, what are you doing here with this game?
Look, even though App State struggled at 6-6 last year, they had an offense that moved the ball pretty damn well. So I think when they're playing lesser opponents, they're likely to cover. So I'll roll App State here.
All right. I'm intrigued by that game. That's actually one of my favorite FCS, FBS matchups. But you could argue that this one might be as well, because Patty C. Cincinnati Bearcats are taking on Eastern Kentucky, and Watt Wells and the Colonels. They got Parker McKinley back at the quarterback spot. And let me tell you, they went to the FCS playoffs a year ago. They're catching only 23.5 points in Cincinnati. I will take the points here in Eastern Kentucky because this is a little brother matchup. Emory Jones, Gabe 1. Give me the points in the Colonels. NC Nick, what are you doing here?
I completely agree. Look, Cincinnati was our lock battle. I'm on the under. Patty C's on the over. Cincinnati's probably going to win this game. I don't know if you want to go money line here, but I think Eastern Kentucky does keep it closer than that line.
Patty C.
Colby, I need you to give me that soundbite. This is the Big 12. Come on, this is a Power 5 team now that is looking to prove a point. They're going to do it week 1, and you guys are hating on Emory Jones, but he's a hell of a quarterback, and they're going to explode out the gates.
They've been in the Big 12 for 5 minutes, all right?
Well, it's going to show that they have upgraded already.
I don't know where the hell that clip's at. You got to get me on a day where I know what the hell I'm doing, but I can tell you this.
Don't have.
I know the human being and fish can coexist peacefully.
That's all I got. Okay. Next up, Rice, the Owls, JT Daniels. He'll be heading into Austin, Texas, starting his 3rd game in Austin with 3 different teams. Impressive. His 4th team in general. Rice is catching 35 in Austin. This total is at 58.5. I know CJ Sullivan from the Bottom Line Bombs podcast, and me and him were talking. We love the over on 58.5 because we think Texas is probably going to get in the 50s. and we think McCaffrey and Daniels will be good enough on offense where they'll get some points. I love the over at 35. Give me Texas minus 35. Nick?
The big question is, there's rumors on the interwebs that Quinn Ewers no longer has a mullet. So perhaps some of that mojo is gone. Mullet or not, I'll still lay the points. I think Texas cruises big time, but I agree with you guys. I like the overplay on this too.
Patty C?
Look, if Texas was able to beat Oklahoma by 49 last year, I think they can manage to beat Rice by 35. This team, they crushed Kansas State. This team has huge scoring and blowout potential. They're going to do it against Rice, especially at home, to open what is their last season in the Big 12.
Yes. Wofford, Sean Watson, former Colorado offensive coordinator back in the day. He's now the head coach of Wofford. When he took over from the interim spot a year ago, Wofford came out and played for him. They looked all right with him. Now he's heading up to Pittsburgh to take on Pat Narduzzi, where surprisingly, Sean Watson used to be the offensive coordinator under Pat Narduzzi. Pitt's laying 35, and I will lay it. I think I wouldn't be surprised if he calls off the dogs on his boys, which scares me a little bit on this one. Patty C, what are you doing here?
When was the last time Pitt beat a team by 35 points? I don't know that has ever happened, so I have to roll Terriers here.
And
Wofford's won a total of 5 games combined over the last 3 years. So this team has been bad lately. I think Pitt rolls.
All right, Colgate. Excited for these matchups. They're catching 41.5.
Bring your toothbrush.
Bring your toothbrush in the filthy Carrier Dome, or whatever the fuck they're calling it now. Syracuse, that's too many points, right? It's just too many points, right? I feel like it's probably going to be 51-7, but it's going to be right around that number. Can Colgate get 2 scores? Rocky Long's the new DC. I'm actually going to lay it. I'll lay the 41.5. I can't believe I'm saying this. Nick, what are you doing here?
Give me the points here. Let me go Colgate.
Patty?
You said Jason Beck took over for Robert and I, and is pretty much running the same system. Shredder back. So let me ask you this, Nick. Same quarterback, relatively similar offensive coordinator and coaching staff. Shouldn't that mean you lean Syracuse here?
I'm not. There's 40. The spread's like 40 points. So I'm not fading Syracuse because of those reasons. I just think it's a tad too many points.
It is a tad too many points, and Colgate beat JMU a few years back, and I haven't forgotten that, so I have to roll with the toothpaste.
All right. This is an interesting one here because, our friend Mike Leach is no longer around. Rest in peace to Coach Leach. Zach Arnett takes over, but Southeast Louisiana, they're an FCS playoff team a year ago. Won a game in the FCS playoffs, I believe, memory serves me correct. And they have an interesting spot because, it's almost like a little brother angle. They're not that far away. Mississippi State's only laying 25.5. Give me the points, man. I think I would, without knowing how this offense will look, changing schemes, I'll take a shot on the Southeast Louisiana Lions plus the 25.5. Nick?
I'm on ride with you. The last time SELA played an SEC opponent, it was at Ole Miss in 2019. They only lost 40-29. While that has no bearing on this matchup, give me the points.
Patty?
This is, even your quarterback's play stays the same. The system changes 100%, but I believe the talent is there. I think Mississippi State is probably 25.5 points better. Remember, we're talking about a top 25 most talented team in college football, according to 24/7. That, they're pretty low on the SEC totem pole, but they're still super talented. So I think they whoop up on lesser competition here.
Wow. Okay. Next up, let's go to Denton, Texas, where North Texas is catching 6.5 points against the California Golden Bears. 6.5 points. Man, I took Cal. If it's over a touchdown, I like North Texas. Give me Cal minus 6.5, but I don't love it. Nick, what are you doing here?
Yeah, I'm seeing a 7 out there too. You might even be able to find a 7.5. And I kind of want to go home dog here. I don't feel good about it. I want to see what North Texas looks like. There are a lot of question marks with that roster and the new coaching staff as well. But I want to take a home dog. Give me the points.
Patty C, what are you doing here in Denton?
Except with Luttrell, the North Texas fans might have humongous expectations for no reason whatsoever, but he is basically their most successful coach ever. They let him go. They're going to find out the hard way that was a mistake. Cal rolls, lock it up.
There we go.
There was been a little bit since we had a little lock going there. Patty C saying, roll with the Golden Bears.
I was on Mars there for a little bit, so I couldn't lock anything. Sorry, guys.
All good. Next up, we take you to Las Vegas. This is interesting to me. Where UNLV is a 24-point favorite against Bryant, who Bryant should have beat Florida International in the season opener a year ago. Zevi Eckhouse is the quarterback to watch out for.
It's a great name,
buddy. Give me the 24 in Bryant. They're gonna keep this closer. I think the Bryant Bulldogs, who are joining the CAA next year. NC Nick, what are you doing here?
I'll lay the points with UNLV. I think losing to FIU in overtime isn't like a feather in your cap, considering FIU was so bad to start the year last year. Granted, they played better throughout the year. But I think, it's clearly better and they're at home. And the spread isn't, ginormous.
Patty?
Look, UNLV 5-7 last year. As much as we shit on them, only lost to Fresno by 7, only lost to San Diego State by 4, even kept it respectable against Notre Dame. I think UNLV gets this one done.
All right. Next up, this is a fun one. This is a great part of the schedule you guys are going to hate because UT Martin is catching 50.5, 50.5.
Lay it
against the Georgia Bulldogs. Can Jason Simpson in his 18th year with the Skyhawks get it done? I'll lay it.
Georgia 55-3.
Yeah, 55-3.
That's a lot of points. Carson Beck's forehead is bigger than my dong, and that's it's not saying that much, but it's still pretty impressive that he's a thinking man. I do think Georgia probably gets this done, but I'm not confident in that.
But Nick, what are you doing here? 55-3, you said?
Yep, lay the points.
All right. Monmouth, Tony Muskett, we don't need you. All right. They got Marquez McCray coming in from Sacred Heart at the quarterback spot, and they are catching 26.5 in Boca Raton against Florida Atlantic. Tom Herman era starts off. Casey Thompson, 46.5 points. I'm sorry, 26.5 points. I'm actually still going to lay it with FAU. I think Herman's going to have them going early. Nick?
I'm kind of high on FAU this year. I'm going to do the same.
Patty?
Look, the greatest quarterback in all of college football, Tony Muskett, left Monmouth, so you got to roll Florida Atlantic here.
All right. Then we jump over to Huntington, West Virginia. These are all 3 o'clock Pacific kicks. Where Reese Poffenberger, fresh off of a 4-touchdown performance.
Our guy.
What if
I love it when you call me Big Poffa.
Yeah, Big Poffa. Look, I mean, this guy had 253. He was 23 of 40, 253. Had some running yards as well. Here's the thing. They're only catching 17.5. So even Vegas knows to watch out for the Big Poff. I'll lay the number with Marshall. Nick?
Come on, man. I can't go against Big Poff. I don't care what the line is. Albany money. No, I'm joking. But Albany covers.
Dude, if this was like 24, I was in on taking Albany.
I'm surprised it's only 17. Yeah. I agree.
Patty, what are you doing here?
They rolled Fordham. I mean, 34-13 against a pretty good Fordham team is pretty impressive. So but then again, Marshall, I think Vegas kind of got this right. I don't have a great feel for it, but I'm going to roll Albany. I'm going to roll Big Poffa.
There we go.
Ooh, there we go. Next up, I'm intrigued by this one. You got the Citadel against Georgia Southern. Old Faithful against those terrorists that changed who they were. Georgia Southern, shout out to Clay. They're laying 27.5. Problem is the Citadel is breaking in a brand new head coach. I think you got to lay the points, unfortunately. So, no, fuck that. Give me the points. I'm rooting for the Citadel. Let's go, baby. Football's back. NC Nick, what are you doing here?
I think that passing attack with Davis Brennan Company is going to roll here. Let me lay the points.
Patty?
Look, you're breaking in a new quarterback in that system, and I think Citadel is going to play tough football. I got to roll Citadel.
Let's go. The Bucknell Bison are coming into – what if I told you the biggest line was not Georgia and Tennessee? Bucknell, who, if memory serves me correct, had only 2 games over, I think, 19 points a year ago. They head into Bridgeforth Connect Stadium to take on JMU. JMU is a 55.5-point favorite.
55.5.
That's a lot.
I can't lay 55.5 unless it's Alabama or Georgia. Give me the points.
I'll take the points, too. Patty, what are you doing here?
What is it? Alonze Barnett is the projected starter. Alonze Barnett, the third projected starter quarterback. That's a huge question mark to be.
The depth chart came out, and there's 3 quarterbacks that are oars. So they're not really tipping their hand as who's going to start, or there might be multiple quarterbacks play this game.
No, all are going to play because when you're a 55.
True, that's what I was going to say. Right.
Well, if all play, then I'm definitely not taking the 55 or giving the 55. Got to fade JMU there. Sorry.
All right, next up, Biff Poggi era begins. And let me tell you, watching South Carolina State this past week 0, when they lost 37-7 to Jackson State and gave up 356 yards in the air to Jason Brown, including 20 straight completions.
Ooh.
Yeah, by the way, do you think Virginia Tech fans are sitting there saying, wait, we let this guy go? Jason Brown, 20 straight completions? Meanwhile, Charlotte has 52 new transfers, but Biff Poggi talking about how his team has been disrespected. The line is 32. After watching South Carolina State, I will lay the 32. Nick?
I'm going to take the 32. I think South Carolina State, with that game under their belt, a little bit more experienced than the old 49ers right now. Give me the points.
Patty C, what are you doing here?
You're hating on Jackson State by hating on SC State. That is Louis that they just played against and lost 37-7. I think Jackson State's probably better than Charlotte. And what's that number again?
32.
Then I gotta roll South Carolina State.
Oh, let's go. One thing you're gonna learn: never fade Biff Poggi.
Can we pick some real games now?
Sorry, I'm going chronologically here, but look. Before we get to picking real games, according to NC Nick, I want to tell you that the college football experience is brought to you by the College Football Bankroll Challenge. Yes, college football is back, and to celebrate, SGPN is giving away a bunch of cash in our College Football Bankroll Challenge. Free to enter. Season-long contest, $1,000 for first place, $500 for second, but the prize doubles to $2,000 and basically $1,000 if you're a Patreon member for the college football season. Go to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/bankroll. or click the link in the app. We're also brought to you by DraftKings. College football fans, are you ready for week 1? We are. DraftKings Sportsbook is hooking you up with a can't-miss offer to start the season. This week, new customers can bet just $5 on any college football bet and score $200 in bonus bets instantly. Anything can happen in college football, like App State beating Michigan. Your team could go from unranked to dynasty mode in just a couple years. Change comes fast. Shit. UCF was in the MAC 20 years ago. All right. The only thing that's a lock in college football are the great offers from DraftKings Sportsbook. So, life's more fun when you're in on the action. Download the DraftKings app now and use the promo code SGP. New customers can score $200 in bonus bets instantly when they bet just $5 on any college football bet. Only at DraftKings Sportsbook with promo code SGP. The crown is yours. Gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER. See DraftKings.com/sportsbook for details. State-specific responsible gambling resources. Bonus bets expire 7 days after issuance. Eligibility and deposit restrictions apply. Terms at sportsbook.draftkings.com/football terms. All right, we are back on the College Football Experience, Part 2. Make sure you check out Part A. I know we're in the middle of these FCS games. Unfortunately, NC Nick, he's not going to be able to run away from these FCS games because the Maine Black Bears.
It's okay. I poured myself a whiskey.
The Maine Black Bears are coming into South Florida to take on Mike McIntyre and the FIU, the airport. They're going to go down to Hangar 5. This line currently sitting at, get this, FIU minus 11. FIU minus 11.
I'm going to go FIU, guys.
I am too. Getting that week 1 game out of the way. Maine, obviously Joe Fagnano transferred out to UConn, but Maine, they did beat Mississippi State at Mississippi State not that long ago, past 20 years, right? They can play some ball. Patty C, what are you doing here?
I mean, what do we think of Louisiana Tech? I guess that's a pretty even matchup there, but Maine 2-9 last year at the FCS level. I do think FIU is probably a much stronger team. The number is what again?
11.
Will they throw for more than 4 yards?
I made the bold prediction saying 40 yards. We're going to get
40 passing yards.
10 times as much.
I guess I'll roll FIU, although Maine has traditionally been a much stronger program than that. Maybe they get a bounce back here, but based on what we know so far, I guess you got to roll FIU.
Next up, the Nevada Wolfpack head into Los Angeles, the Coliseum, where this total is sitting at 66 again. Don't 66.5. Don't insult me. Don't insult me. Take the over again, folks, because get this. USC is scoring in the 50s yet again. So then you're asking yourself, because I pretty much feel like USC is definitely going to score 56 points or more in the 50s. Can Nevada score on that? Do you see what San Jose State was running for like 7 yards a carry, right? I get it. Nevada's not the same. They're not nearly as good as San Jose State. But I do. Do I think they could score twice? I do. The line though is at 38. I will take USC. Check this out here. Give me a 56-13. Nevada's got a money kicker.
56 2 weeks in a row, exactly.
56-13. Yep.
Please
nail this again. That would be amazing.
USC ain't kicking field goals. So it's going to be, 7 times what? 7 times 8?
It might be
9, 63.
It might be 63, yeah.
63-10. I think USC rolls. I think Nevada is awful, and I think USC is going to cover the 38. I think this spread should be somewhere in the 40s.
I love the over here, guys. The over is going to hit.
But what about Nevada carrying their weight towards the over? Because that's
my hesitation. I agree.
If USC hits 56, then you got to have Nevada getting 10. How many times did they do that last? They had a decent offense at times last year. I think I will.
Defense is terrible though.
It's Nevada. I could see this game being 55-10.
Yeah,
63-7 or something. I think you're probably right.
The over hits.
Oh no, I think you're probably right with the over. I don't feel as good about it as I did last week because we all knew San Jose State could score some points.
I agree.
So
how about this?
If anything here, I'd rather bet USC minus 38.
Patty?
Nevada put up 28 against San Jose State last year. USC put up 56, twice that. I don't know what that stat means. All I think is Nevada has maybe a better offense than we anticipate. So I do think the over is a good play. I also think USC covering 38 is a good play. Zachariah Branch, how many touchdowns this week?
Kid's nasty.
3
touchdowns for the freshman.
Let's go. Probably another kick return. Washington State is heading to Fort Collins, Colorado. I'm fascinated by this game. 2 teams air raid. Washington State disrespected, left for nothing. Now they head to Fort Collins on the road. Oh boy, 11.5 is the spread that I see. I know Noah's got it on the screen as 11. Give me the points. Wazoo wins, but this is gonna be close. Give me the points. I also like the over. Nick?
Perhaps I'm a sucker for a G5 school at home playing a P5 school. I always root for that upset. And I think you're right, Colby. I think Colorado State can keep it close. I think both teams are going to at least be in the 20s. So yeah, I would think,
a possible money line play here.
Maybe, but I would like the over as well, and give me the points with the Rams. I think Patty's going to go Wazoo.
Patty?
Yeah, I am. Not only do I do think Jay Norvell's a good coach, and I think year 2 should pay dividends, and I think they did get better toward the second half of last year. All that said, I think Washington State's a much better football team, and I think they cover. 11? Come on.
Yeah. Alabama A&M is heading into Nashville, the construction zone, where nobody goes into the construction zone and gets a dub. Hawaii found that out the hard way. All right. But Vanderbilt's laying 39 points. Whew.
39. Akil Glass isn't walking through that door.
That's a big number, though, man.
UAB beat A&M 59-0 last year.
I'll lay it. Patty, what are you doing here?
The spread is what again? Sorry.
The spread, you're making me really work for this one, is 39. Vanderbilt laying 39.
No, never. I mean, I know it's been done. It happened against Hawaii last year. This is not the same Vanderbilt team that we saw last year. Although they may be getting better. Maybe Hawaii is just that much better. But no, I will fade Vandy here.
Nick?
I'm on Vandy. Lay the points.
Central Arkansas. It's catching 29.5 points. This game's interesting because I think Central Arkansas is supposed to be pretty good in the FCS. 29.5 in Stillwater. Give me the points with Central Arkansas. Oklahoma State wins, but Central Arkansas covers. Nick?
No, I'm high on the Pokes. I think they're going to be better than expected this year. I think they're going to smash over that win total of 6.5. That's going to start with a complete destruction of the Bears.
Patty?
Central Arkansas last year was what? They were 5-6, respectable. I know that Oklahoma State has had a little trouble getting out of the gates. I think that number 29.5, that's a little too big. I'm going to roll Central Arkansas here.
Alcorn State taking on Southern Miss. In-state battle. NC Nick's excited. Southern Miss laying 28.5. I will lay it. They're going to put it on Alcorn. Let's go. Another Clemson transfer. Billy Wiles going to do it. Billy Wilkes, is it? I can't remember. Patty C, what are you doing here?
Hattiesburg getting it going once again. I got to roll Southern Miss, baby. I mean, Alcorn State, a better HBCU/FCS program than maybe we're giving them credit for, but still, Southern Miss is trending in the right direction.
Steve McNair is not walking through that door. Give me Southern Miss.
Going Southern Miss. Shout out to Danya Johnson in the chat. Appreciate you hopping in, man. Folks, remember, youtube.com/The College Experience. You're going to watch this. Next up, we jump over to Texas State as the G.J. Kenny era begins, catching 27.5 at Baylor. It's too many points. Give me Texas State plus 27.5. NC Nick, what are you doing here?
This line has gone up a lot, too. I originally laid the points with Baylor. I think it was 25 or 25.5. You know what? I'm going to Benedict this and say at 27.5, give me the Bobcats from Texas State to cover the number.
Patty C?
They played last year. They lost by 35 in Waco. I think you'll probably see a similar number this year. I'm going to go Baylor to cover this.
Alrighty. We move along to Kansas, the Little Apple, Kansas State, hosting preseason FCS top 25 team, Southeastern Missouri State. SEMO, has anyone got the courage to take SEMO plus 29.5 in the Little Apple?
Yeah.
I will take it. I think. Yeah,
I'll take the points.
I think K-State is one of these teams where they'll get up big and then they'll call off the dogs, and SEMO will be able to score enough. I'm going to take the points as well.
I'm going to do it.
I'm not. I'm going to go the opposite direction. I think Kansas State got a taste of great success. They are back going. Chris climbing up the ranks and maybe has his eyes set on a college football playoff berth. This is step one this year. Kansas State blows them out.
Patty C going with Kansas State. Next up, New Mexico heading into College Station to take on Road Rash Face, a.k.a. Bobby Petrino and the Texas A&M Aggies. This is – you want to lock? I'm going to lock up something here. 48.5 is the total. There is no way that this game is staying under this. Texas A&M is going to score in the 50s alone, right? This is the biggest overlock as far as the total for all of week 2. Lock up over 48.5. I think Dylan Hopkins will also give enough points for New Mexico, getting the UAB transfer to come in with his OC, Bryant Vincent. I think I look for New Mexico to get 10 to 14 points this game, maybe even 17. And I think A&M is going to score in the 50s. So I love the over, and I will also lay the 38.5 or 38.
I guess the main question is, do you believe in this Texas A&M offense? Will they be much improved over last year? Because last year, the most they scored was 38. They were actually only in the 30s 2 games out of 12 last year. I think they will be improved. I'm going to lay the points too.
Buddy, take the over. I'm telling you.
All right, I like it.
Take the over. New Mexico's offense was ass last year. Patty?
Wait, so why would you take the over if New Mexico's offense was ass last year?
Because A&M's going to have the ball more.
And you think A&M makes up for that?
He thinks A&M may score in the 50s by themselves.
Yeah.
And wait, the number is 49. Okay. All right. Yeah. A&M probably does do that. And I do think A&M easily covers this.
Yeah. So, yeah, jump on that.
I don't expect New Mexico to contribute more than a touchdown, though. So A&M's offense better be moving.
We got an interesting one here. FCS against FBS because the Troy Trojans, they're on. Next week they head to the Little Apple to take on Kansas State. But they got to get past Stephen F. Austin first. Watch out. Little look-ahead spot. The Trojans are only a 16.5-point favorite against the Lumberjacks of Stephen F. Austin. 16.5? Can they get it done? Oh, man, I feel like they kind of nailed it with the number. I'll take Troy. I'll lay the points. I think Troy wins by 17. But, Nick, what are you doing here?
Yeah, Troy was such a defensive-oriented team last year. They didn't blow out a lot of folks. And if I'm not mistaken, the last FBS team – well, no, they lost to La Tech last year. But just 2 years ago, Stephen F. Austin went into Lubbock and only lost 28-22. With that said, I'm going to go Troy, though. I think Troy's rushing attack is a difference here. The Lumberjacks will have no answer for, what's his name, Kamani Vidal.
Kamani Vidal, there we go. Patty, see what are you doing here?
Look, this team has a pretty explosive offense. Stephen F. Austin. They did beat a team 98-0 last year, the Warner Royals. So I'm not going to fade them, even though Troy was excellent last year. Give me Stephen F. Austin to cover.
The Army Black Knights, Jeff Monken, 10-point favorites as they head down to Monroe, Louisiana. Never fade a Bowden in a season opener. Is that one of Patty C's statement?
We can make that work.
Nothing like that.
Work.
Yeah. He's got it at 9. Noah's got it at 9. I see 9.5. I even see 10 out there. Patty, what are you doing here? Lead the way.
No, fade Bowden. Fade Bowden big. I don't know. The new offense makes me. I almost want to lock Army here, but I'm a little wary of the new offense. The cut block rules, as Colby's been harping on so hard, he's right. It's bullshit. So I guess I'm going to take Army, but I won't lock it.
Nick, what are you doing here?
We've talked about this when I think we were doing the Sun Belt preview or either the ULM preview. Even though Army won at home 48-24 last year, I think it's a lot closer this year. I'm going to take the points and sign up for another home dog. And I think it's even a potential money line play.
I like it. We think alike here because I'm taking the points.
A good coach. Sometimes it takes until year 3 to get it going.
I'll take the 9 points. I think maybe a sprinkle a little bit. Shout out to DGen Ringer in the chat. This game's awesome. UTSA heading to Houston. UTSA is a 1.5-point favorite, right?
On the road. Wow.
Holgerson, some great press clippings as he was talking trash about Texas and Texas A&M on I think a Houston radio show over the weekend, or I guess yesterday. I don't know. Is it still the weekend? I don't know. Anyway, got Guys, I'm taking Houston to get it done here. I'm going to take I think Donovan Smith and Houston. They've sold out tickets for their they're in the Big 12. I think the fans show up. They're all the difference. I will take the Cougars plus 1.5. I just played on the money line. I like the over as well on 60 here. Nick, what are you doing here?
This was a 3 overtime game last year in San Antonio. Houston won 37-35. But you know what? UTSA has 16 returning starters, and they remember that. And this is Houston without Clayton Tune, without Tank Dell. I know the receiving group for UTSA is a little banged up. First off, Zachary Franklin transferred out. And I think Cephas is going to play. Decorian Clark is questionable, but still, Captain Harris, UTSA, they get it done this year. Revenge game.
Patty C?
Got to agree. Look, Tank Dell, a second round draft pick, but that may have been people sleeping on him based on their group of 5 status last year. He's an excellent receiver. They're going to miss him. And revenge is on the mind for UTSA. Got to roll. Roadrunners, meep.
UTSA
Colby's fading his boys.
UTSA did blow a 17-point lead last year. Holgerson's on fire. He sold 7 cars this week. Ride that momentum. And I agree. I think Houston gets it done. It's all about the fans, man. They got the home field advantage. They don't have to go to that filthy, stinking dome. All right. Next up, hell of a deal going on at the Liberty Bowl where if fans come out and support the Bethune-Cookman Memphis game, they'll get free entry into the following week's game. And then if Memphis keeps winning, free tickets until they lose. So get out to the Bethune-Cookman game. They are laying 48.5 points against Bethune-Cookman, where Ed Reed was a coach for 4 days. Picked up some trash and said, you know what? Fuck this job. All right. We've all been there. 48.5 points.
You know what that means, Colby, is that if they beat Bethune-Cookman, which they will, then the next home game is Navy. Pretty good chance they can knock off Navy. Then they get a free ticket for the Boise game.
Interesting.
That should be a very fun game.
Might have a sellout crowd here.
I'm going to lay the points here. I think Memphis's offense is pretty good. They got a quarterback that's been there for a while. They brought in some key transfers in the skill positions. I'm going to go Memphis.
I'm with you. I think I'm going Bethune-Cookman seems to be a dumpster fire. Patty, what are you doing here?
I mean, Bethune-Cookman gave up 70 to Miami last year. So Memphis, Miami, comparable programs. I got to roll Memphis to cover this.
All righty, moving along. We got the Battle of the Carolinas in Charlotte, North Carolina.
Now we're talking. Finally, all this bullshit FCS games.
Hipster Colby's a little upset with you right now, Nick.
Yeah,
all these 45-point spreads we're picking.
He wants one of these neutral site bullshit games.
I can't wait for this game.
I am excited for this one. North Carolina, South Carolina, UNC laying 2.5. You know, it's funny. I was on Carolina plus the points at 3.5 and 3. 2.5. I think North Carolina is the better roster. Now, do I have faith in Mac Brown? Never. But I'll take banana pudding.
Nanner pudding.
Epstein Island.
Yeah, Epstein Island. We voted Mac Brown most likely to go to Epstein Island out of any college football head coach. I'm going to lay the 2.5. I don't feel great about it. What are you doing here, Patty C?
Oh, I'm not laying. Carolina's favored by 2.5. Get out of here. South Carolina money lines. Did you see how South Carolina finished last year? Clemson beat. Who is the other one they beat? Tennessee. And then they kept it pretty damn close against Notre Dame in the bowl game. South Carolina's turning a corner. Spencer Rattler, I said it in the previews, is the better quarterback than Drake May. Boom. You heard it here first.
Completely.
Stats be damned. Stats be damned.
You got to say stats be damned. Okay. NC Nick, what are you doing there?
System quarterback Drake May.
I've been telling you all off season, South Carolina is a better team. They're the tougher team. That's what it comes down to. This comes down to, I hate to get to, fade my ACC, but this comes down to the better team in the trenches. That's the Gamecocks. They bully North Carolina and win this one.
Interesting. Okay. Next up, no one locking anything here.
I wanna lock South Carolina. Check the picks page.
Okay.
Nah.
I just want to say that.
South Carolina can lay a lemon every now and then too. I'm interested in that game. That's gonna be a fun one.
I'm interested in this game. The Toledo Rockets are heading to Champaign, Illinois. And they're
Hipster Kobe is back.
I mean, they won the MAC last year.
No, that's a good
South
game.
Carolina won like 6 games, right? 8, right? Illinois lay a 9.5. I got to take the points. I think Illinois is probably going to win, but Toledo's going to be solid. I'll take the 9.5. Illinois wins. Give me like a 27-20 final. Illinois wins, but Toledo covers. Patty, what are you doing here?
Like I said, I know we've asserted that maybe it's plug and play in that Brett Bielema running attack, but Chase Brown, I say, is special. He's been showing out for the Cincinnati Bengals. They're going to miss him. Toledo keeps it closer than 9.5.
Nick?
Don't love the play, but I'm going to disagree with you guys and lay the points. Again, the Illini are the more physical team, tougher in the trenches, and that running game really gets going in the second half, and they pull away.
The Middle Tennessee Blue Raiders are heading down to Tuscaloosa, Alabama. Middle Tennessee beat Miami by double digits. Can they beat Alabama by double digits? They're catching 39.5 points. And I know Saban normally calls off the dogs. I don't think he's going to do it here.
I think he's kind of pissed. I think he feels disrespected.
Yeah.
I mean, he probably called for David Pollack to lose his job after that comment in the national championship game broadcast.
True, and ESPN probably listened because they're little bitches, huh? No, I don't know. I'll lay it though. 56-3.
I'm gonna do the same.
Patty?
Jalen Milroe, I think everyone goes, oh my gosh, he's great after this game. We'll see. Middle Tennessee pretty damn good, but Alabama, like you said, on a mission, does cover 39.5.
Alrighty, next. Oh, let's just get it going. It's been a fun little story in the offseason, the Texas Tech Red Raiders. But you think they're just going to walk into War Memorial and get a dub? No. You're giving me 14 points? No. Wyoming not only covers, they win it on the motherfucking money. Texas Tech is thinking about Oregon next week. They're forgetting about a guy named Craig Bowl.
Colby's so sold on Craig Bowl's statement about his team.
Yes, well, and just anyone that ever plays in Laramie, I think it's one of the harder home field environments. Highest elevation in all of college football.
Wow.
I don't think it's close. I think Texas Tech's going to struggle. They're going to try to play fast. You can't play fast up there in that altitude. I know the top 2 running backs for Wyoming are injured, but it's a system play. Everyone said, last year they lose Validate Arizona State. Not a problem. All right. Give me the 14. Lock it up. Sprinkle a little bit on that money line.
Earlier, GBO Farm said that we both took Texas Tech earlier in the offseason. I don't recall that. I think we were pretty high on Wyoming, especially with the points from the get-go. Am I wrong?
I mean, I don't know. We were drinking, doing all these previews. I don't know.
True.
You know what I mean? But
I get points. I'm not going to lock it up. I think Texas Tech's going to be pretty good this year, but I will take the points. I think it's a closer than expected game.
Patty, what are you doing here?
Well, Wyoming's a hard team to figure out in terms of like whether they're able to stop the run or stop the pass. They had good performances against Fresno. Bad performance against Fresno and bad performance against Illinois and good performance against like the likes of Air Force. So I don't know what to expect from Wyoming, but I'll take your word, Colby, that Wyoming will get it done.
I wish they had a little bit better quarterback play because Andrew Peasley probably ain't the answer. I mean, talking last year with 52% completion percentage, 10 touchdowns, 9 picks, doesn't offer anything with his legs either.
Look at
what
the
they
year
need.
before.
What they need is a dual threat guy. Imagine Wyoming with a dual threat quarterback. It'd be nasty.
Like Josh Allen?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course, he doesn't grow on trees, does he?
Dude, Wyoming's covering this.
I like it. Let's do it.
And they're probably, watch out, money line play. Everyone's talking about the Oregon game in Lubbock. Let's go.
Lubbock's elevation, not exactly super low, 3,200 2 feet above sea level. Wyoming elevation. Sorry, I don't have Laramie elevation pulled up, but I imagine it's in the 7,000 range. It does make a difference. What's the spread again? Sorry, 14.
14.
I'm gonna roll with you, Colby. I'm gonna roll Wyoming.
Well, let's keep it going because I feel like we should all lock this one up. West Virginia is catching 20.5 points against Penn State. Look, a lot of hype on Penn State. I know the whiteout. This place does college football right, but I think West Virginia is a lot better than that number. Now, I can understand momentum in that place is dangerous because, like, if you get down a score or two, floodgates could open. I feel like we should lock up. This is one that I feel like I'm going to lock up by Saturday morning. I feel like West Virginia is 20.5 points better than this number. I just feel like, come on, 20.5. I'll take West Virginia. I'll also take the over on this game. Patty, what are you doing here?
Yeah, I guess I have to agree with you. I don't feel super great about it just because who knows if Drew Willar comes out and just slings the ball around. They already have the running back committee cranking out. Maybe they pull away late, but I do think West Virginia is going to keep it close to 21.
And my only hesitation is that Garrett Green started, I think, just one road game last year, and he went 8 of 14 for 48 yards and an interception. While that's good passing stats for FIU. You know, I don't know if you can go into Happy Valley with those kind of stats, but I agree. I think West Virginia's being slept on a little bit this year. I mean, not that they're great by any means, but they're decent, and they're going to play Penn State tough. So I think there's too many points.
Should we lock this?
I could be talked into a lot.
Let's lock this, right?
Patty C, what do you think?
Well, here's the thing: is Drew Willar was not super impressive. I know all the hype, 5-star, superstar.
That's fair.
I wasn't impressed by him. I want to see it. So yeah, I'll lock it.
Let's go.
Let's go. Triple lock.
Down, you'll always be home, sweet home to me. Good old Morgantown, WP.
West Virginia plus 20 or plus 20.5. You might want to actually hang on and wait for that to be 21 also. So, and I like the over as well. Shout out to Dick Gersberger in the chat saying he loves the over. Let's move along. This game is awesome. Arguably the best game on Saturday, if you ask me, because you combine how many wins. If you did it by combined wins of last year's teams, I think this might be the best game. South Alabama heads to New Orleans to take on Tulane. Tulane's laying 6.5. I'm fascinated by this game. And I actually think Tulane, remember, they have Ole Miss coming to New Orleans next week. I like the spot for South Alabama. I'll take the points, sprinkle a little bit on the money line. Nick, what are you doing here?
I love taking the points here. I think 6.5 is way too much, and I actually like it being 6.5 because some people are going to pick Tulane since it's under a touchdown. I'm really high on the Jaguars this year. I don't have the number of returning starters in front of me, but I think it's like 17 or 18 or something. They got experienced quarterback. They got a really good running back. They got probably the two best receivers in the Sun Belt. I think South Alabama is a live dog here. I think they're definitely going to cover the 6.5, and I will lock this one up.
Wow.
I mean, I agree. I'll join you because maybe the touchdown bites us and it's like an overtime game, and but yeah. I think this is like people think. Like, I get it. Tulane had a good year, and I love Willie Fritz. I've been high, ask Patty C. I've been high on Willie Fritz for a long fucking time.
Not as high as I've been on Michael Pratt. Hello.
Yeah. But this is like a field goal game to me, like for either team. I think you got to take it. I'll join you. Lock up the South Alabama Jaguars plus 6.5. Patty C., what are you doing here?
I agree with you guys. South Alabama was phenomenal last year. Tulane got a lot of close wins last year. They were a team of destiny. However, I do think they're going to maybe not replicate a Cotton Bowl victory, a New Year's Six victory, but they're going to have a damn good year once again. However, Kane Womack, South Alabama, the team on the move in college football, or one of a few teams on the move. I got to roll South Alabama with the
best
cover
team
here.
in the Sun Belt this year. Fight me, Patty C, with your JMU.
Easy. JMU. Please tell me they play. Dude, I haven't remember.
They do. I think
we're gonna fuck them up.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're coming again to Bridgeport
Saturday, September 30th.
Yeah, let's go. Let's fucking go. All right, next up we go to, speaking of Sun Belt and speaking of upsets, Old Dominion did knock off Virginia Tech a year ago. ODU this year has to head to Blacksburg. Hopefully the elevators work because Virginia Tech's coaches did get stuck in an elevator last year. Maybe a little revenge. We'll make sure the old elevator.
Maybe a little foul play there going on.
I like it. ODU's catching 16 points. Ricky Ronnie's bunch. Ali Jennings, their best wideout from the best offensive player maybe from a year ago, is now with Virginia Tech. Man, Virginia Tech named Grant Wells the starting quarterback.
Surprisingly.
Just because he had a tough year doesn't mean he's a shitty quarterback. He was pretty good 2 years ago.
I don't know. I've never been overly impressed. With that said, I'm still going to take the Hokies because that's how
Lane Stadium, right? That's the difference.
And that's how bad I feel about ODU. So I think Virginia Tech wins this one and they cover.
Yeah, lay the 16. Patty C, what are you doing here?
Sure, I guess. Virginia Tech, though, could easily lay a clunker, and Brent Pry can find himself on a very uncomfortable seat here in short order. But I do think Virginia Tech improves in year 2, and they cover this.
Alrighty, folks. Want to tell you, before we get to the next games, I want to tell you that the college football experience is brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Yes. Look, it's August 30th. Get your fantasy draft shit together, folks. All right, get championship ready for your home league by trying out Best Ball on Underdog Fantasy. If you've never done it, all you have to do is one live snake draft. No waivers, no trades. You set it, you forget about it, and Underdog will do the rest. And look, Underdog's got the largest fantasy football contest of all time. Underdog's Best Ball Mania tournament. It's giving away $15 million in total prizes, including an absurd $3 million to the winner. Do you have what it takes to win it all, people? The time is now. Door is shutting. Got to get it in by September 7th. Visit UnderdogFantasy.com, find them in the App Store, and sign up with the promo code SGPN to get your first deposit doubled up to $100. That's Underdog Fantasy, promo code SGPN. Get there with your play. Call 1-800-GAMBLER. We're also brought to you by Sports Gambling Podcast Patreon. Yes, make sure to check out the Sports Gambling Podcast Patreon. Sign up for exclusive access to exclusive contests, including the NFL win totals contest with a $1,000 first place prize. This week's weekly patron pick'em is fantastic. Let me just tell you that it's college football week 1, and the winner is gonna get a cornhole board, perfect for any college football tailgate. All right, you're gonna play some cornhole.
Did they say SGP on the cornhole boards? You could like pick your own school on it or what? TBD details. TBD.
Yes,
we'll have to mail a sticker with that. If not,
I haven't been in the office for a few days. I've been fighting. You know, yeah.
Old HIV dent over there.
Yeah, I told you it's tough on these Venice streets. You know, look, the Patreon's a great way, and don't get it twisted. We're not selling our picks. We never will. All right, it's just a great way to support the network and fight back against corporate gambling. SportsGamblingPodcast.com/Patreon. Once again, that's SportsGamblingPodcast.com/Patreon. All right, we are back talking college football. We're in the meat of this, man. The night schedule, by the way. You realize when that Houston UTSA, so basically 7:00 Eastern, that window from 7 to 8, you're going to have UTSA Houston, North Carolina, South Carolina, Toledo, Illinois, Texas Tech, Wyoming, West Virginia, Penn State. And then right at 8. So all those games are going to be going on when South Alabama, Tulane kicks, ODU kicks. And then you get this one. NC Nick, I know he's excited because the Northwestern State Demons are heading to Cajun Field. Take on Louisiana. You want to know if Mike Desimero wants to get fired? I would say if he loses as a 41-point favorite, that might get him fired. 41 points too much. Give me Northwestern State. What are you doing here, Nick?
I think that is too much. I mean, but they did lose 64-10 at Southern Miss last year. Northwestern State is pretty damn awful, but I feel like that's too many points for the Raging Cajuns.
Patty C?
The Cajuns, I think Desimero, I think the talent on that good. Northwestern State does suck. That's a number I would never touch with a 10-foot pole. I guess I'll lean the Cajuns, but whatever. Flip a coin.
Alrighty, moving along. This game's fascinating. This is actually one of the best FCS games. Incarnate Word, who was an FCS playoff team that went deep into the FCS playoffs and probably should have beaten North Dakota State at North Dakota State. Terrible fumble ruling in that game where Incarnate Word probably would have won that game. They are heading to the Sun Bowl to take on NC Nick's UTEP minor squad.
Not anymore.
UTEP is a 1-point favorite. 1-point favorite. Zach Calzada, who once beat Nick Saban in Alabama, starting quarterback for Incarnate Word. Woo! What are you doing here, Nick?
First off, let me tell you how frustrating it was to watch UTEP last week, because it was one of those games where they were never out of it, but you knew they were never going to overcome it and win. So it's just they just like pull you along all game long, giving you like you have a chance, like you have hope, just to fail at the end with on those two plays, 3rd and 1, you throw the fade to the end zone, like okay, I guess. And then 4th down, you pass it again. It just didn't make any sense. I was very frustrated at that game as a former UTEP fan. But I'm gonna jump back on the horse.
I am too.
Come on, UTEP.
A bunch of transfers, brand new head coach. The Sun Bowl will be lit.
That's
UTEP,
right.
I think they cover the 1 game or the 1 point. Patty, see, what are you doing here?
Let me ask you this. Incarnate Word at the FCS level or Jacksonville State? Which was the better FCS program? Because let's assume that Jacksonville State is pretty much the same team they were last year.
I mean, Incarnate Word starts a quarterback that started for Texas A&M.
They're pretty comparable programs. The numbers what again? Sorry.
1. UTEP is laying 1.
UTEP is laying 1. UTEP will cover that.
I agree. Let's stay right there. Let's go 30 minutes up the road and go to Las Cruces, and I'm going to lock up this one because for some reason the Western Illinois Leathernecks, who were winless a year ago, are catching just 14 points in Las Cruces against New Mexico State and Diego Pavia. Jerry Kill is going to cover the 14. Lock it up. I think they win by 30, maybe 40.
Dude,
anyone want to join?
Did you see that game last week?
What do you mean?
Are we watching the same screen here?
What do you mean? You thought New Mexico State looked bad?
Yeah, I thought they got slapped by a 1-11 team.
No, I thought New Mexico State actually looked kind of what I thought they would look like. That's why I took UMass.
Dude, I think we're underestimating how bad the Leathernecks are. I mean, they've won 4 total games over the last 4 years.
It's a lock.
Yeah, I'm gonna ride with you. Usually I don't touch these games, but I do feel like New Mexico State probably not as bad as we think.
If anything, I came away from the Mexico State game thinking they're better than what I thought they would be.
All right, let's go. I'm with you.
Let's go. Lay the 14.
Western Illinois does suck. And look, I did lock the over on the win total for New Mexico State. So faith in Jerry Kill. I guess they should get this done at 14. But that was not impressive. UMass was 1-11. We expected them to get better this year, UMass.
But UMass didn't look like a 1-11 team, dude. They looked a lot better. That's why I took UMass. That's why you listen to old Pick Dundee here. Dial 1-800-PICK Dundee, folks. You want to lock it back?
They might not have looked 1-11, but they were 1-11.
Are you going to lock it or not?
Sure, I'll ride with you guys.
Let's
I'll ride
go.
with you. But look,
there we go.
This is me now taking a flyer because they were not impressive last week. I'll say that.
Lock it up, baby. Triple lock. Las Cruces. Let's go. All right. Moving along. Let's stay in the FCS ranks for NC Nick's sake.
Do we have to?
The last time these two teams squared off, Jed Fish, he was just in year 1. But guess what? Northern Arizona, they don't have any sympathy for that fish character, because Northern Arizona won outright in Tucson. Now they're catching 26 points. 26 points in the desert. Let me just cue you up.
I know the human being and fish can coexist peacefully.
That's too many points, guys, right? That's too many. It's too many.
I'm going to lay the number.
I'm taking the points.
I'm going to lay it. Arizona's offense is much better than 2 years ago.
But Arizona's defense is terrible, dude. I think
against like high-profile Pac-12 offenses, yeah, but against Northern Arizona, maybe not.
Big Sky. I'll take
Arizona.
The points. Patty?
All right. Let's do a little comparison. Arizona beat Arizona State 38-35 last year. Arizona State beat Northern Arizona 40-3 last year. Give me the Wildcats.
Boom.
Well, let's do a comparison. Last time they played,
Bear down. Is that what they say?
They say bear down. All right, and I got this.
I don't know why.
That makes sense of that.
All right, man, dude, is this one a juicy one? This one's a juicy one, man.
By the way, Wildcats as a movie, grossly underrated.
Oh yeah,
in the modern context. You see, like Remember the Titans and all these other shit ass movies. Wildcats is top 5 all time.
Yeah,
football movies.
Remember the Titans is garbage. NC Nick, BYU, Sam Houston State.
I know you love this game.
I feel like we should lock this. Sam Houston is catching 20. They redshirted 20 guys last year. I know it's in pro, but that's the only thing that scares me is that home field advantage is legit. I feel like we should take. I wouldn't be surprised if Sam Houston won outright, but
I think you're on the right side taking the points. I'm going to join you, but I'm not going to lock this because I haven't watched Sam Houston plays in 3 years.
Yeah, I'm taking the points. I feel very good about this thing, but
I'm with you.
That's a lot of points. It is a
lot of points. Yeah. What are you doing?
Maybe on that alone, I'll roll Sam Houston. But let me say this. JMU, as a JMU fan, I remember them coming back from the depths of hell to beat us on a lot of luck to win that national championship. Other than that, they're a team that loses in the playoffs against good teams, but 20 points is too much. I'll take Sam Houston.
Yeah, agreed. Coastal Carolina Big Bird, a.k.a. the Mullet, heading into the Rose Bowl, the filthy Rose Bowl, where Dundee is on watch. Dundee's on everyone's security's already.
This is a kind of fun game here.
They have a drawing of me where I'm not allowed in. Wanted, dead or alive. UCLA is only laying 14.5. You see who's got Garber's getting the start. Not Dante Moore. Not Colin Schley. Ethan Garbers.
Been around a long time.
Pays to be faithful. Tim Beck, NC State's offense was not impressive to me. Having said that, though, 14.5 is a little too much. Give me Coastal plus the points. I don't feel good about this one, though, because Beck was so unimpressive as an offensive coordinator that I'm paranoid about this game. I feel like UCLA could beat him 45-0 if it's the offense I saw at NC State. But I also feel like Big Bird came back. Grayson McCaws can play. What are you doing here, Nick?
I went back and forth on this, and as much as I want to take the Chanticleers, I ended up laying the number. I think, UCLA, nobody's really talking about them. USC is getting the hype. Washington is. Oregon is. Nobody's really talking about UCLA, and I think that they're still going to have a strong running game. They still have, their line should dominate Coastals. So I'm going to lay the number as much as I don't want to.
You know what? I think you're right. The more you think about it, like. They're too physical.
No,
Tim Beck sucks, man.
Look, this is a team that should have, by all rights, lost to South Alabama last year. All right, UCLA's physical. They're a fucking pussy team. Okay. Wait, by the way, I want to ask you, what's a bigger bitch ass school, USC or UCLA?
Well, UCLA traditionally, but I will say, like under Chip Kelly, they are like a power running team.
Yeah, I mean, that said. DTR not coming back. Zach Charbonnet not coming back.
Lexington Steele, though, buddy.
Lexington Steele, it may be Zach Charbonnet, maybe not. I don't know. But a true freshman quarterback, game 1 against a team that's been pretty damn good. I think that number 14.5, you're giving me that hook. I'm all over the Chanticleers. Matter of fact, lock that shit.
There we go. Love it. Love it.
Patty C rolling with Big Bird at the Rose Bowl. Big Bird does Hollywood? I like it.
8 people will be in attendance for the old Bruins there.
Well, at least it won't be at like 11 a.m. at the hottest day in LA history.
Although we're on quite the fucking heat wave here, are we not?
Yeah, seriously. And somehow I'm sick with it. San Diego State is laying 30.5 against Cody Hawkins in his first ever game as a head coach. I have done polar bear shots with Cody Hawkins. And with the Idaho State Bengals.
What is the polar bear shot, out of curiosity?
I don't even remember. Just he actually introduced it to me. But Yeah, we got cherry bombed in Chicago one night. Anyway, 30.5. I'll lay it. I'll lay it.
I don't know, guys. Jalen Iron Maiden didn't look that great last week.
Idaho State's terrible, though.
Yeah, I got to roll with you, I think maybe San Diego State just runs the ball.
Patty, what are you doing here?
What San Jose State or no San Diego State?
San Diego State.
San Diego State. I gotta be on the Aztecs here. Come on, let's go.
All right, now we hop into Sunday's action. And let me tell you, we got barn burners going on because we got a Big Ten game to start off the season Sunday morning, 9 a.m. on the West.
All spaced out, too. Perfect.
Northwestern at Rutgers. Rutgers laying 6.5. Man, when it was 7, I was like, I'll take Northwestern plus the 7. When it gets to 6.5, give me Rutgers minus 6.
Is this the only game of the weekend that's under 40 for the over-under? They are just saying this is the shittiest game of the weekend right here.
I'm just laughing because I see the Weehawk in the chat does the polar bear shot, and I'm guessing that's copied and pasted. If not, then he writes a very nice, it'll warm your soul during the cold winter months.
Shout out to Weehawk.
I'm intrigued.
Guys,
it sounds awful in August in North Carolina, though.
Yeah. All I know is Cody Hawkins was like, dude, I'm gonna buy you a shot. Don't talk bad about my father. I was like, I love your father, man. It's the Big 12. And then we started one shot turned into 20 shots. We're having a hell of a good time. Guys, I'm laying the 6.5. And do I feel good about it? Not at all.
Yeah,
I'll go under also.
This could be like a 17-14 type game.
Yeah.
Ultimately, I'm going to agree. Rutgers at home with everything that happened to Northwestern. Give me the Scarlet Knights.
Hear me out. Ready?
Yeah.
10-0.
Moneyline Max saying tragic magic. Does this count as tragic magic? It's tragic how they treated Pat Fitzgerald.
Yeah,
I don't think this qualifies.
I don't know if that qualifies.
Well, I mean, all the players kind of, rallying around him. Maybe
they're gonna rally. They're gonna rally around pussyhood.
I guess true, and the players that didn't transfer out too. A lot of players transferred out.
Rutgers steamrolls them. Rutgers lay the
Rutgers
points.
Doesn't steamroll anybody.
Well, okay, but Northwestern is particularly pussy at this point.
Steamrolling by Rutgers is they win by 10.
10-3.
10-3. They cover.
17-6. Rutgers wins.
Oregon State is heading to San Jose, California. Oregon State's laying 16.5.
It's a lot of points.
It's too many points for a team that played week 0, right? But they could be in fuck you mode.
Do you think San Jose State probably gained some confidence in that game against USC? Putting 28 points, granted a shitty defense, but still USC, a top 10 team. Oregon probably helped them.
Oregon State, the best defense in the Pac-12 last year.
That's true. DJU.
I'm taking the points.
I'm taking the points. It's in San Jose. It's in San Jose.
Yeah. I'm taking the points.
Yeah, I'll take it.
I think I've taken the points with all the home G5 dogs against P5 opponents.
Now, Jonathan Smith, is he going to do the quarterback whispering routine to DJU? And are they going to start flinging the ball all over the place, or are they still going to be a pretty conservative offensive team?
I mean, I think they're a run-first team, but DJU is going to open it up. And, you've seen these Clemson quarterbacks. Fumacha Khan for UMass.
That's true. But maybe not week 1. Maybe not week 1. Maybe not in San Jose. Got to go Spartans.
LSU, Florida State in Orlando. Bring your fishing lures. Isn't this at the World Camping Bowl?
Camping World Stadium?
Outdoors.
That makes sense, although it's completely landlocked in Orlando. So
and camping isn't necessarily fishing.
Do we have a weather report on this game? That's fair.
An interesting point.
88 degrees and partly cloudy. Doesn't
really?
look too
Are
bad.
they getting hit by like a hurricane right now?
That's coming in like tomorrow.
Okay.
By Saturday or by Sunday, it's going to be long gone.
Okay, well, then that feels good when I lock this up. Do I care? that they have a defensive tackle and a running back out? Not at all. LSU and Brian Kelly are going to beat the piss out of this fake little Florida State team that beat two teams with a winning record last year and played backup quarterbacks. Lock it up. NC Nick, you joining?
I'm with you. Let's do it.
Let's go, baby.
Lock battle. Play the music.
Oh, let's go. Let's
do some shots. Noah's instigating back there in the background.
I got NyQuil right here. I'll do a bunch of shit.
Colby will hit some scissor.
You got the grape or the cherry?
I went great. We got a lock battle going on here, folks. In one corner, Patty C going with Florida State. In the other corner, NC Nick and Dundee going with LSU. Let's fucking go.
2.5. Come on. I mean, I guess if you win by a field goal, you cover that. It's going to be a great game.
Son of a bitch. I can't talk to that son of a bitch. I really can't.
Just so folks know, I'm not an ACC homer because both of the ACC-SEC matchups, I leaned SEC.
Ooh,
there you go. ACC Nick is gone. Long gone.
There you go. All right, look, final game on
Just
the slate.
means
Labor
more.
Day. Hey, college football, you fucking filthy, fucking stupid maniacs. Play more Labor Day games. Why do we not have – look, you did 3 on Sunday, which happened last second, by the way. At first, it was just LSU, Florida State. In my opinion, we should have 5 on Sunday. Monday, only 1. Hey, everyone's off. We want to watch more football. Give us –
How about this?
Yeah.
Thanksgiving?
Yes.
Hey, fucking load the slate. We're all football fans in America.
They're so stupid. Like, you don't even have the NFL. You put one game on, you're sitting there. People are, I saw a UMass post. Oh, they did 600,000 views. This is the most they've ever been. Yeah, because you played week 0. All right. Hey, Northern Arizona and Arizona or whoever, Incarnate Word UTEP, put that shit on Monday. So we
standalone games are going to get a ton of viewership.
If TV execs are in charge, then why are we not like, you would think they'd be like, hey, we can have more people watch these games if we spread them out.
What the hell does
Nooney's
CBS
kick?
Go ahead, Patty.
Nooney's kick, 3 p.m. East kick, 6, 5, and 9.
Just like they did on Sunday, basically.
Yes, but Sunday they still
it could be more for sure.
4 on each day.
They're killing me here. Okay, but Clemson is taking on Duke in Durham. Why do I feel like this game? No one's talking. And NC Nick, great post on your Twitter about the talent level.
Oh,
the ACC. Can we talk about this?
They ranked Duke 12th, I believe, or 13th.
Well, they had Wake Forest as the least talented team in the ACC. If that's the case, then why does every fucking team, every good Power 5, goes out and raids their roster every year? Why? Why is Texas starting a Wake Forest transfer? Right? What Kenneth Walker was the best running back in the nation. You're such fucking hacks. I swear.
They still value talent, or they still, to be the most talented team, they still look at how many stars you had coming out of high school.
So stupid.
It's asinine.
The stupidest fucking anyway. 13 points, 12.5. Guys, Garrett Riley is going to come in and start spreading the ball around, but Mike Elko knows a thing or two about life.
Dial it up.
Points. Too many points.
Let me
All
ask
right.
you this. Cade Klubnik, a tad undersized. I don't know. Sometimes I look at 24/7 Sports and all the recruiting services, and I see them hype a guy up, and I say, I don't see it. And then I get proven wrong pretty badly. But Cade Klubnik hasn't proven it, and he's already been on the field on a college football game. What makes them think they're just going to blow out a pretty good Duke team?
Yeah, the best quarterback on the field is with Duke, as far as we've seen in college football. So you can find me in the club taking Duke. All right.
Nobody's talking about Duke. Right? Nobody's talking about Riley Leonard. Nobody's talking about Mike Elko. Duke is gonna not only are they gonna cover, sprinkle that motherfucking money line. Hey, let's go Duke Blue Devils.
Like, sprinkle a grain of salt because Nick is a diehard Duke basketball fan. I got to imagine some of that trickles over to football.
Too. He's got an Anthony Dowick jersey somewhere.
Now, what have the scores between Duke and Clemson been? Has that traditionally been a I know they probably play once every 15 years.
That's what I'm saying. Clemson ducked them last year. They were lucky. Clemson was very lucky. They didn't get to play the Elko and the Blue Devils.
I'll pull it up real quick here, but there's a very small sample size. So 37-16-1 is the total series. Last time they played was 2018. Clemson won 35-6. Duke did win in 2004. So 19 years later, they're going to win again.
Mike Elko might be the best coach at Duke since Steve Spurrier. I don't think he's there for very long, only because he'll get snapped up pretty soon.
Brad Goldsmith had a good year in 95. Right?
Don't sleep on Coach Cutt either. I know the end
Cutcliffe was good.
The end of his run, the game had kind of passed him by, but he brought up Duke from the very bottom of college football.
He did great. Cutcliffe did great, but I think Elko has Power 5 star status written on him.
I agree.
Yeah. And that's why Duke needs to lock them up long term, baby. Folks, that is our show. We went through our locks. And look, hopefully tomorrow I'll be at the studio. I don't know. It depends how this grape drink treats me. But yes, we're doing this every week. All right. We got a DFS show slated. All right. Come play. We didn't have a DFS show for Thursday and Friday. We were supposed to, but I got sick.
Well, Cole, if we do that Friday during the day, we'll still have the Friday night slate on that show.
Oh, there we go, folks. So stick around. And Dundee at noon, which we promoted. Tomorrow, maybe at noon, but if not, then after I come back from Vegas. So 2 weeks from now.
He's fighting hepatitis, and then he's going back to Vegas.
When do you go to Vegas?
Next Tuesday.
Oh, man. Okay.
Yeah.
At least you get week one.
Gonna need more of that grape drink.
For punishment.
NyQuil shots.
Yes. Give me a follow on Twitter at TheColbyD. Give Patty C a follow on Twitter at PattyC831. Give NC Nick a follow on Twitter at NC__NICK. The College Football Experience is on Twitter at TCE on SGPN. Subscribe, tell a friend, and YouTube.com/The College Experience, the hub for all of our college podcasts. You saw Moneyline Mac in the chat. He hosts the Big 12 Experience. Noah Beanick is producing this joint. All right. He is the host of the College Baseball Experience with myself. And then we also have the College Basketball Experience and the FCS College Football Experience. So subscribe to all of those. And then this is the College Football Experience. So subscribe to all this. And we haven't got enough 5-star reviews on iTunes. Get on over there to iTunes, folks. What the fuck's going on? What we got to do?
Out.
Anyone else talking about Monmouth, Florida Atlantic? Fuck you. Get on over there. I'm battling a goddamn cold for this. All right. Sickness. All right. Told you. I've been in the trenches over here. But
he's about to shoot a softcore porn for you guys. You know, he's in the trenches. He's deep in the trenches.
Deep in the trenches, folks. Anyway, let's go. Check out Sports Gambling Podcast. If you're real hip, I'll be over there talking college football in about 24 minutes. So check out that. Until next time, folks, this is the College Football Experience. You better start thinking about yours. And we out of here.
Run and shoot.